Fauci is cooked. What's up, dude? Old Bear in the chat. You're the first one here. All right, let's get the short stream going. Might as well. Toxic Liquid Gaming and Ominous Shadows. First two in the Twitch chat. Technically, it was Ominous Shadows number 1. Ryan Beckett in the YouTube chat. We got Husky Weirdo, Aliar, Sauron, Noggle. What's up, dudes? Glad to have you here with me. We're just getting started. Bump, 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 bump. Liquid. Got you. I think I could remember that. Which these? Oh, I have the wrong thumbnail for this one. I have to change the thumbnail. Dude. There we go. That's better. All right. So we got this guy up here. I'll bring you down. Boom. So we have that stream here. Love to see it. The short stream. Everyone's popping in already. We got the Midnight Shadow online. First one in the short stream. Moses, Shannon. Hello, guys. What's up from rural Alaska? That's dope, dude. All the way from Alaska. Love it. Rural Alaska. All right. Well, we should have a lot of the. I should be able to chat room, chat box, punch. Go. There's a chat box that should have a lot of the chats in it. If anybody talks from like LinkedIn or some shit, because I'm live on LinkedIn, there's an option to do it. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna throw it over there. I've got a bunch of LinkedIn followers. It's all from back in the day when I was in the business world, though. So, like, I don't know. They're just going to see me all YouTubed up. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. Hello from North Carolina. What's up, North Carolina? 2 from North Carolina. Mississippi. MISSISSIPPI. Damn, dude. You guys don't like Fauci. All I remember about Fauci was like the mask shit, dude. Like he was like the one that said we should wear masks. And that's all I really like. I don't know. At that point in time, I was kind of checking out of politics. So I kind of missed everything. I was like, what the fuck? I was just in my house streaming. I was doing a lot of streaming and I wasn't doing any politics. So I missed all of it. I was not doing anything. I will say that if nobody was making me wear a mask, I wasn't wearing no goddamn mask. But if they made me wear it, I just wore it, you know? You ruined everything about the USA. Everything? Hated that shit. Yeah, dude. It's crazy. That was what, 5 years ago now? 6 years ago? That's 6 years ago now. That's crazy. It feels like time stopped still. Net Price, watch your vids like every day. Thanks, Parker. Appreciate you, homie. You got kicked from a store for not wearing a mask? That's crazy. All right, here's my question for you guys. All right, I got a question. Because I got a bunch of different stuff we could talk about today. Well, let me get that out of the way. All right, so we have Trump makes an announcement from the Oval Office. He's with like the Secretary of Transportation, so they've got a big announcement there. They're talking about stuff. Then there's Trump attends the funeral. So there's Trump's speech at the funeral we could cover. We also have Vance's, but I think we could just skip on Vance's. And then we have Fauci's testimony. So we have the full 3 hours, right? But I just so happened to break all the main moments down in a clips. So I was thinking of just going over the clips instead of over 3 hours, because that sounds like you guys would get bored, right? So that's where we're at. We can watch Trump in the Oval Office, Trump doing his speech at the funeral. I have have Fauci's testimony today, or whatever the fuck that you call that. His nothing, his pleading the fifth. We can go over that. So you guys let me know. All right, let's see. Again, it's like, what are we doing first? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Looks like everyone's talking about Fauci. I think we should probably talk about Fauci. We should probably do Fauci first. Do you guys want the full 3 hours? I'm kind of getting that energy right now. I broke down all the main clips for the most part. I might be missing a couple, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have over 10 moments from the 3 hour thing that we could just watch instead. Up to you guys. I'll stay here for 3 hours. If you guys watch it, the views are up, dude. You know, like, if I'll throw that shit on. Just says, hey, I watch you all the time. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. Let me see something. Somebody's asking Vapor ask a question. Where are you at on YouTube? Oh, I'm live on YouTube on Stan Price. I'm live on a short stream, a vertical one, and I'm also live just like it looks like on Twitch. And for those of you interested, I am live on Twitch right now. You can find me there. I'm also live on X if you want to watch there. But Twitch is always fun. Trying to become a Twitch partner. That's one of the last places I need to get a check mark. I guess TikTok, I should get a check mark there too. That's probably more important. And I should start streaming on TikTok. I just feel like I'm gonna get banned with the shit that I talk about, dude. Like, I can't even say the word shit. I'm gonna get in trouble, you know? So maybe like the TikTok stream should be at a minimum. On here, I mean, Twitch is like the best experience for the viewer, minus the ads. The ads really ruin everything, but everything else is dope. Throw that munchkin Fauci in prison for the rest of his miserable life. Here we go. Let's pull him up on screen. I mean, I'll just have this going on mute for right now. There we go. This is what we need up. So I guess we could do Fauci first. I'm thinking about using my other headphones because these ones are bugging my ear. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Doing back there. That's some loud laundry noises. Yo, Giant Panda just subscribed. That's crazy. I haven't seen that person in a long time. What's up, Giant Panda? I remember you. And he followed up. What's up, homie? I remember you from Canada. Rocket League. And then you had a 5M server. And you blew up from the 5M server. Like, I think I don't know, some good things happened. And you had a good thing going there. That's the last I remember of the Giant Panda lore. Then Splitgate. Okay, Splitgate too, huh? I tried out Splitgate for a while, but it just wasn't big enough of a game, unfortunately. Like I love the game. It's a fantastic game. But if Splitgate could have had way more players for longer, that would have been good. The dude that's spamming GoldenEye, can you time him out? Oh, you're not. Let's see if I can. Okay, I gotta time that guy out. Sorry, dude. I'm gonna give you a second. If you keep spamming, then I have to time you out. It says sorry. Okay, we Gucci. We good. Thank you. Yeah, like, no, yeah, you're good. You're good. Thank you. I saw your comment. All right, so friends, we're gonna do. I can do. You guys want to do the full 3 hours? Bro, I'm gonna throw this on. I have the highlights right here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 clips. We could do 12 clips, or we could do 3 hours. Background still looking mint. Thanks, man. Yeah, this is just my house. I got my workout machine there now. It's become kind of like a centerpiece, and got a bunch of stuff set up. I don't do the green screen anymore. I just use my actual room because it's just easier. You guys want, okay, 2 for clips. Of course, everyone wants the clips. That means you guys want the 3 hours. I pray for you and your country and your channel. Love from Lahore, Pakistan. What's up, Pakistan? Thank you very much. That's awesome. Dragon with the sub. Let's go, dude. Thank you for subbing on Twitch. Geez, all the success. Hope it keeps coming. Thanks, man. It's been about 5 years. I've been doing pretty good on YouTube for about 5 years. Got like 1 million subs about 5 years ago. But I've got a bunch of channels. I'm streaming on my politics channel right now. It's my newest one, but it's doing really good. Of course, obviously, because like that's all everyone wants. That's why I do the politics. That's what you guys want. That's why I call it political crack. You guys want political crack? I will be your political crack dealer every day. All rise for Stamp Price. By the way, how you doing? I'm doing great, man. You guys could sit. All right, it's hot out. Why are you ignoring the question? Do you realize that there's like 200 other people talking? What are you talking about? What did you say? Let me look it up. But it's not all about you, dude. Jesus Christ. Main character syndrome. Papa Stanimus, why are you chirping Canadian firefighters every time you guys have fires in California? California sends a lot of water bombers and fighters to help. Just because it pisses you guys off, honestly. Like, we both send firefighters to each other. Did you know that? Like, yeah, you guys send firefighters, and then we've sent like 2,000 firefighters to Canada since May. We currently have about 500 firefighters in Canada right now. So it's like, when you guys say that, it's silly because it's you're acting as if we don't send the firefighters, but we do. People on the internet were just like, it's mostly just Americans trolling Canadians about the smoke. That's really what it is. And you guys, like, it works. You guys shouldn't let it work, but it works. The Fauci cringe. I know. We're going to go through it. Yeah, it's just jokes, dude. Yeah, like, anybody that's getting way too and like taking all that too seriously, like, you're like the butt of the joke. So to stop being the butt of the joke, realize it's all just people. It's just Americans and Canadians picking on each other, dude. Like, I don't know. That's only gonna get worse. You know what I mean? It's only gonna get worse. 4 eyes? Not me, dude. I got 20/20 vision. I'm perfect, dude. But yeah, so I'll give this to anyone else. Anytime you're like, if you guys are getting into it with a Canadian or whatever, you can look this up. Go use AI. 2,000 firefighters sent to Canada since May. 500 American firefighters currently in Canada right now. That's more than double the firefighters Mexico sent, that all the lefties were like, yeah, you know, like, we should be taking care of Canada like our neighbors in Mexico, and they sent their 200 firefighters. We already have 500 in there. Like, what, you know what I mean? So everyone's pretending like we don't send firefighters to Canada, but we do. Yeah, we send it to each other. We send them to Mexico. Mexico sends them to us. We all look, we all argue and shit, but we're still like taking care of each other, right? You know what I mean? We're not like at war. Everyone, you know what I mean? It's just jokes on the internet. We're just joking around. Canada's awesome. I hate that they're assholes to Americans because we're better than them, but you know, we're better, you know? You know what I mean? If they were, you know, I would feel the same way if they were better than us. You know what I'm saying? Still trolling, can't stop. Exactly. I'm just fucking around, dude. Anybody getting like really mad and being like, fuck Americans, you know, it's like, well, or even Canadians, like, if you genuinely take it to that level, then, you know, the media, the jokes that I'm making and stuff, you're taking it too seriously. We're just joking around. Now, I guess we're all allowed to be mad at Fauci. I guess. I'm not fully filled in on the story. Copper with a sub on Twitch. Thanks, dude. We just got 3 Twitch subs at the beginning of the stream. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Just a reminder, we are over on Twitch if you guys want to fucks with that. I'm going to full screen this, I guess. Bro, let's do this. Let's watch this fucking thing. It's 3 hours, though. This is what everyone wants. This is what you guys want. You guys want to watch Fauci. I do have the clips. What is that? A super chat from Dingo Dog. $5 super chat. I'm poor, so this isn't much, but it's for you being awesome. Oh, and I vote Fauci for the chair. Chair, like the chair of a board? You want him to be in charge? Is that what you want? Right? Oh, no, that's not the chair that you mean. You mean like the chair. Old Sparky. That's what you're talking about. Green Mile. Walking the Green Mile. Now I want to watch that. Such a good movie. Thank you for the $5 super chat, friend. Yeah, you want to watch it live on YouTube? Yeah, let's. I'm tired, boss. No, you got to keep going, fucker. Sorry, I don't care that you're tired, Puppet Master. You think things are crazy right now? Like, things are crazy with us righties, you know? Like, we're pretty crazy, you know? Like, in a good way, in my opinion, for the most part. But Ominous Shadow, sub it up, dude. We got 4 Twitch subs. Let's go. That's fucking awesome. Thank you, Ominous Shadow. 3 months subbed in a row. Giant Panda says, I was one and gifted one for you. Oh. Let me see. Well, hold on. I'm in the wrong thing. Let me take a look at this here. Sorry. Let me take a look at that. Giant Panda gifted a sub to. I don't have like the Twitch. I have like a combined chat thing. It's not showing all of that. And that's now I'm realizing why that might. Okay. I need to have 2 of them so I could keep track of this. Giant Panda gifted a sub to Copper 988. Thank you very much, Giant Panda. Thank you for speaking up too, because I wasn't seeing that in my combined chat. And then Ominous Shadow, Twitch Prime, 3 months. Twitch primed out of his mind. Thank you. Sorry, Giant Panda. I'm a little pro streamer, by the way. $2 super chat from Mikey. Thank you very much, homie. Yeah, GoldenEye. GoldenEye. That's like my go-to at this point for my background music. I just, you go on YouTube, you find like the hour version of this, and I just put it on repeat. Yeah, that's what I do. Bam, stream music, handled. You know what I mean? Out of the way. Don't have to worry about stream music. Don't have to worry about copyright, because this is like an old Nintendo 64 game. They don't care. I have your vote for president now? I didn't say I was running. Don't have George Washington my ass, bro. I'm you know. I'm here, says I'm gonna need y'all's votes. Starting right now. I'm so glad this banger was OG Nintendo instead of today. Yeah, dude, this is. We had it really good, man. We had it really good. Do you guys ever wish you can go back in time into maybe your younger self, but with like your like your all of your knowledge, and you could go back in your younger self? Can I vote for you? I'm Canadian. Yeah, dude, just come here to one of our states where there's no ID required to vote, and you can vote, dude. 100%. You can vote more than once. Who's the baddie? Oh shit, I didn't notice. I wasn't paying attention. Now I am. Now I am. Let's move her over a little bit. She's mine, he says. Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, but it wouldn't be dope to go back in time to your younger self. I would like make a point to enjoy things so much more in like the 90s and early 2000s, especially, you know, before all this crazy internet shit happened. That would be awesome. Plus, I would invest in everything. I would start a lemonade stand, and then every 10 cents I make, you know, of 10-cent lemonade I sell is going right into Apple or something. Right? Yeah, it'd be so cool if they could like make a machine. Have you guys seen that movie Vanilla Sky? Kind of a spoiler, old movie though, like 20 years old, but probably longer now, actually. Tom Cruise movie, dope. There's like a rich guy that gets plugged into this machine, so he gets to live in this like world for hundreds of years, but just living his life like he was living his life, his normal life. And it's an illusion. And then it turns out he was there for like hundreds of years, and technology is caught up. They bring him back to the real world. I would live in that shit. Hell yeah, dude. Put me back in the 90s. Let me start over. Basically, put me in the Matrix. Yeah. You're my favorite YouTuber? I'm your favorite YouTuber? Yo, what's up, Gavo? Gav Cool Plays. Yo, I'm his favorite YouTuber, guys. I'm just letting you know. All right? This guy right here, I got people saying, you're my favorite YouTuber. This guy right here. Hey, this guy, he said, I'm his favorite YouTuber. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Nobody's telling you that. Nope. I got told that. Just saying. Bow, bow, bow. All right. We're the Fauci thing. I guess we might as well just start it up and listen to it. You know, we might as well get started. I got you a go. Oh! My wife typed to me in the chat to let me know she got me a drink. I didn't even realize it was there. You're my favorite YouTuber. Yeah, you're my favorite YouTuber, dude. I plead the fifth with a side of 6 and 7. Dude, that could be a song. I plead the fifth with a side of 6, 7. Oh my God, that's funny. I like that. I like that. Bro, you have the best wife? Oh yeah, #1 wife, dude. Nobody has a better wife. Well, Brittany ain't rich, you know? That would be amazing. Like if she had like rich parents or something and she inherited a bunch of money, you know? Yeah, do that with your weights. Oh, those are just for show. That's just to make it look like I'm trying. Hey, what was that? 800 ghouls. Turn it up. You guys ready to watch this? Let's watch this. Let's do this. Turn it up, he says. Thank you for the jewels, and you got it. Let me pause that and let's get this started.
The American people deserve to know why dangerous research was funded by NIAID in a totalitarian country in a lab that lacked acceptable safety standards. The decision to fund dangerous gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China, will likely go down in history as perhaps one of the worst public health decisions. Frankly, the American people deserve an apology. I hope today Dr. Fauci will come clean, admit it was a mistake to fund dangerous research in China, admit that the risk of this dangerous research exceeded any possible benefits, ask forgiveness, and pledge to help our government devise safeguards so a man-made epidemic never happens again. Instead of an apology, you have for years avoided responsibility. Regarding the lockdowns, you argue that you did not personally issue every lockdown order, close every school, or impose every mandate. But officials across the country invoked your authority to justify these decisions.
A new follower.
And you presented your recommendations not as judgments.
Chris, thanks for the follow on Twitch.
But as dictates of science itself. Your own words demonstrate that you understood the influence you exercised. On March 14th, 2020, you wrote that the task force recommendations were driven by me yourself, Deb, and CDC. The next day you wrote that you had convinced Mayor Bill de Blasio to close the New York City schools, so you were involved. That same night, Governor Gavin Newsom's chief of staff told you that the governor had
always grow
decided to
beards
close
when they get
California
out?
schools, bars, and
They're so
restaurants
strict with it.
after watching you on television. Presidents, governors, mayors, school boards, corporations, and Congress all bear responsibility for the decisions they made. The COVID lockdown, however, could never have been inflicted without you aiding and abetting the crime. Children lost years of education. Small businesses built over a lifetime disappeared.
Yes, I am on kick
Patients
too.
delayed cancer screenings and other medical care. Families were separated from dying relatives. Workers were ordered to accept a medical procedure or lose their jobs.
Give me one sec, guys. I'm gonna move this.
Employment, education, and travel were restricted in the name of science. While you did not impose every restriction, you used your public authority to justify them. While you concluded publicly that COVID occurred naturally, your private record tells a different story. In early 2020, your hand-picked virologist warned that the virus appeared to have been manipulated in the lab. In a conference call concerning the origin of the virus, all but two of the participants believed deliberate insertion was possible. Your concern was not merely theoretical. That same week, you led an urgent effort to determine whether your own agency had funded the research related to these experiments that were now under suspicion. Hours later, your assistant reported that the Wuhan experiments had indeed been reviewed and approved by the NIH. Those were not the actions of officials who believed that a research-related origin was an absurd conspiracy theory. They were the actions of officials urgently trying to determine whether their agency funding was connected to the research under discussion, connected to the pandemic. You could not hide that your agency had funded the Wuhan research or your long history of defending gain-of-function research. The only alternative left was to argue that COVID-19 did not originate in the Wuhan lab. You were not a detached observer. You had an institutional interest in the public believing that federally funded research had nothing to do with the pandemic. It was a conflict of interest from the very beginning. The authors of the proximal origin of SARS-CoV-2 privately had serious doubts about a natural origin. Within days, though, they flipped, and they all wrote in proximal origin that the virus was almost certainly not a laboratory construct. That paper was then used by the government and the media and you to discredit Americans who were asking the same questions that you and the authors were asking yourselves privately. You even cited proximal origin from the White House podium. You held it out as evidence that the virus could not have been engineered, but you didn't disclose your role in the discussions that preceded the writing of the paper. You did not disclose the author's original concerns. You did not reveal that you had been part of the paper, that you had read and offered editorial comments on the paper before it was published, before you began using it as evidence that it couldn't have originated in the lab. You did not disclose that you had immediately investigated yourself whether NIAID funding might be connected to the research. You did not tell the American people the full story. Duly released private messages indicate that the doubts with the authors and others didn't disappear after the publication. So while this was being waved at the White House to show that it couldn't come from the lab, the authors were still privately continuing to assign a meaningful probability to a laboratory origin, one thing in public and another in private. Some of the same scientists discussed avoiding email and carefully managing communications that might eventually be obtained under the Freedom of Information Act.
Remembering all this or using a teleprompter?
Straightforward. Privately, there was alarm. Then
if this is off the top of his head, that's impressive.
NIAID's possible exposure to funding, then a rapid public declaration of certainty, continued private doubt, and then years of resistance to disclosure. The question is why? The only logical answer is that your primary concern was avoiding culpability. Your primary concern was hiding the fact that you had approved the funding for this dangerous research. Your support of gain-of-function research is extensive and long-standing. In 2011, your agency funded Ron Fauci's laboratory when it mutated the avian flu until it could spread through the air between mammals. This was the tipping point. This is when others became worried. You funded this. You advocated for this. The federal government's own biosecurity board, though, recommended withholding the details of these experiments because of the danger the research posed. People were concerned that publishing it was publishing a roadmap to creating bioweapons around the world. But you sided with the gain-of-function scientist Fauci and argued that the benefits of publishing the research far outweighed the risks. You defended this avian flu transmissibility experiments as critical research. You wrote that even if a scientist became infected and triggered a pandemic, the benefits of the gain-of-function experiments outweighed the risk. In 2014, your agency, NIAID, began funding the Wuhan bat coronavirus work.
Sorry, I'm photoshopping right now. I'm making something for the stream.
And the Chinese scientist Shi Zhengli published NIAID-supported research combining a bat coronavirus spike protein with a SARS backbone. The resulting virus could infect human airway cells. It's a novel virus that now can infect human cells. It gained transmissibility. It gained function. In 2018, the same group of scientists, EcoHealth, Barrick, Xi, and their collaborators submitted the diffuse proposal, which involved the insertion of a furin cleavage site into the coronavirus. DARPA rejected it as too dangerous. When COVID was sequenced, though, early on in January of 2020, within days, scientists discovered that, lo and behold, it had a novel furin cleavage site, just as had been proposed in the diffuse project. This was either an extraordinary coincidence or a smoking gun, evidence that the Chinese had created COVID-19.
That's crazy.
It made the laboratory origin question more legitimate.
I always believed that.
It made your categorical public denials indefensible.
Always believed it from the beginning. The China fucking lab
On May 11th, 2021, you told the Senate, the NIH has never, ever, and does not now fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan, in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. When I gave you the opportunity
Too much of a coincidence,
to correct
bro.
the record, to reconsider the statement, you responded that you had never before lied to Congress. We were then told that only the government's narrowest regulation of definition counted here, that you could define gain of function in one way in which this wasn't gain of function, in which all of the common sense of the world would be thrown out, all of the idea that the mice were
Remember
dying
when they found Chinese
and the
labs in California?
virus was more
Yeah,
transmissible,
fishy
didn't
as
matter
fuck.
because you had a technical definition that allowed you to fund it. But the real question is, was it dangerous? Was it a wise decision to fund this? And you haven't deviated from that. You've never
She dressed up for today, though.
It could have been a mistake funding this research in China. The American people weren't asking for a semantics debate over what is gain of function. They were asking, does common sense say this research was dangerous in Wuhan? They wanted to know whether their money-funded experiments in Wuhan that made bat coronaviruses better able to infect humans. The answer is yes. They wanted to know whether NIAID adequately supervised their work. The answer is no. When you defended this research, you described its benefits in the broadest terms. But when Congress demanded accountability, you hid behind the narrowest possible definition. You can't have it both ways. Your conduct concerning federal records raises further questions.
Ayo.
It is a crime to destroy federal records. Yet our investigation reveals your assistant diligently reported that she deleted tons of emails. In 2024, you testified that you did not delete federal records. Who's telling the truth, you or your assistant? The committee has obtained repeated instructions from you telling federal officials to delete communications. On February 2nd, 2020, one day after Origin's call, you told Francis Collins, please delete this email after you read it. The committee asked for your voluntary cooperation to come today. Your appearance had to be compelled by subpoena. You're here today under duress. You're here today because of the court ordering it. President Biden issued you a sweeping pardon extending back to 2014, the same pardon he gave to his son Hunter. A pardon may protect a person from criminal prosecution. It doesn't rewrite history. It does not erase documents. It does not convert a misleading statement into a truthful one. And it does not prevent Congress from establishing what happened. There will be another pandemic. There will be another crisis. And there will again be a officials who insist that uncertainty must be hidden for the public's own good. They will demand obedience. They will invoke science.
Now I look like a real streamer.
As though it were a commandment. They will argue that government officials cannot be questioned because questioning them would undermine public trust. They have it backwards. It is secrecy that destroys trust. It is arrogance that destroys trust. It is censorship that destroys trust. And it is the refusal to admit error that destroys trust. That loss of trust may be your most damaging legacy. Trust can't be ordered. It has to be earned. No scientist is above scrutiny.
How's that?
No government official is beyond accountability. And no public servant has the right to treat the suffering of millions of Americans
we'll move it down
as
to
a
the bottom.
footnote to his preferred version of history. I now recognize Senator Peters for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee has a long and a very proud history of conducting serious oversight on behalf of the American people. When this committee has been at its best, Democrats and Republicans have worked together.
That looks good.
To investigate complicated issues, to follow the facts wherever they may lead, and produce recommendations that actually strengthen our nation's security and improve government functions. That bipartisan tradition has produced meaningful work following Hurricane Katrina, the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, failures at the Secret Service, and countless other matters. Unfortunately, today's hearing is the latest step in the chairman's sharp departure from that long tradition. This hearing appears to be a culmination of months of biased and selected efforts by the majority under the guise of a committee investigation to basically legitimize a predetermined
Your father died because of the
conclusion
vaccine?
that was reached years ago.
What happened?
In 2021, the chairman has called for today's witness to be fired, to be arrested, accused him of leading cover-ups and conspiracies. He has even featured the witness prominently in fundraising emails and on the cover of his book. He has also called for the cancellation of the witness's security detail, despite the fact the witness and his family have received numerous credible death threats. When I served as chairman, Senator Paul and I launched a bipartisan biosecurity investigation that included oversight of risky research and the origins of COVID-19, because we agreed that the committee's work would be stronger if we did it in a
Toolbox Garage,
bipartisan manner and just followed the facts.
Lynn Renee in the chat.
That
I'm going to read
was
some Twitch
and
chats real
continues
quick.
to be an area of legitimate and certainly needed oversight.
Chris McBricker,
As
Copper,
chairman, Senator Paul has taken
intentionally
the opposite
inflammatory. Welcome
approach.
back.
He has abandoned longstanding practice by blocking minority participation in committee oversight actions and has chosen to selectively
Brandy,
release
thank you for the
committee
jewels.
records that the minority has never had any access to in order to support his pre-drawn conclusions. The chairman has repeatedly excluded committee's minority and withheld documents and evidence from members that are entitled to receive them, disregarding longstanding Senate rules and committee precedent that have preserved the credibility of our oversight in this committee for decades. I have raised these concerns directly with the chairman because it's not just what we investigate that matters, but how we conduct that investigation. That also matters. One-sided investigations designed to validate predetermined conclusions do not serve
I'm on Kick. I'm live on there right now.
Who sent us to actually uncover the truth and to solve problems.
Maybe they'll
I wrote to the chairman requesting that he adhere
to
committee rules. But instead of addressing concerns that I raised, he removed part of the committee's website from the public view. This move not only prevented the public from being able to view those list of concerns, it had serious questions about the desire for transparency and legitimate oversight of this matter. But what makes today's hearing particularly disappointing is not simply the chairman's actions, but what we could be using this committee's true and time oversight.
Thank you for the super chat, by the way.
This committee has not held its annual threats hearing at all in this Congress. We have not held a budget hearing for the Department of Homeland Security. There are important hearings that we would have the opportunity to discuss as to how to strengthen our Homeland Security across the board. No hearings on those topics. Instead of focusing on the national security challenges that we are facing in our country right now, today's hearing looks backwards, revisiting questions this committee has already examined, including through bipartisan work that
with
Senator Paul and
1,000
I
joules. Thank you very
conducted
much.
together when I served as chairman of this committee. But rather than building on that work to strengthen our preparedness against future disasters, we are instead relitigating the past. COVID-19 exposed serious deficiencies in our nation's public health infrastructure. We know that. More than 1 million Americans lost their lives, and this committee should absolutely continue to examine how we can better prepare our nation against future
Was it really a
biological
million?
threats. Those are the kinds of forward-looking, life-saving questions that will help our nation be better prepared to protect the health and the safety of Americans when the next emergency occurs. Unfortunately, at this precise moment, we should be strengthening our capabilities. The Trump administration seems to be doing everything in their power to actually weaken our capabilities. The administration has hollowed out the public health workforce. They have fired, pushed out, and cut funding for public health personnel, shrinking the CDC workforce by a quarter. Thousands of experienced scientists have left government service, and with them has gone critical institutional knowledge that cannot be easily replaced, certainly not quickly replaced. The administration, thanks to political operatives like Russell Vogt, has slashed or illegally withheld funding for life-saving medicines and cutting-edge technologies that let us rapidly develop them during an emergency. Mr. Vogt is now further politicizing the federal grant-making process, proposing to subject all federal grants, including those for disaster relief, housing development, and cancer research, to the whims of political appointees, not nonpartisan experts. All of this has left the American people more vulnerable to infectious disease threats, and we are already tragically seeing the consequences. Staffing and funding cuts have slowed the federal, state, and local response to ongoing outbreak of a foodborne parasite, which has sickened thousands in my home state of Michigan, as well as across the country.
The diarrhea lettuce.
At the same time, the administration cuts to global health programs and international partnerships
Nobody's
that
in line
greatly
at Taco Bell.
our ability to contain dangerous diseases like Ebola before they spread to our shores. We should be examining whether our federal health agencies have the personnel and the resources they need to effectively prevent, detect, and respond to these threats. We should be asking how to strengthen our biodefense efforts to deter our adversaries and prevent biological attacks against our country, and how our government can better coordinate and communicate during public health emergencies. These are the kinds of forward-looking matters that are worthy of this committee's time. Instead, we are here continuing the chairman's year-long focus on one individual. History tells us, unfortunately, another pandemic is all but inevitable. The question is whether Congress and this committee will work to better prepare our country for it, or continue looking backward while our public health infrastructure crumbles around us. That is the hearing that we should be having today.
Well,
unfortunately, I fear the intent of this hearing is only meant to further a purely partisan agenda and it will not make Americans safer. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I agree. I mean, I don't think any of this is going to do anything.
That the committee has denied access to the minority to records is categorically false. This is the most transparent investigation in the history of Congress. We actually created a website, and we put all of the information on the website. It continues to operate. The reason it hasn't been accessed is no Democrat ever signed up for it. Not one Democrat. We told them the access. They never asked for the access code. They haven't been on the website because they have not cared about the investigation. It's a practice of this committee to swear in the witness. Dr. Fauci, please stand and raise your right hand.
There he is.
Do you swear that the testimony you will give before this committee will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
He's not going to tell the truth. He's not going to say anything.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, you are recognized for 5 minutes for your opening statement.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Peters, members of the committee, I served at the NIH for over 54 years, 38 of those as director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Over that period, I proved that I believe in and respect the value of legitimate congressional oversight. In fact, I testified before and/or briefed Senate and House Senate and House committees well over 200 times over those 38 years. During and after the COVID pandemic, I have appeared multiple times for hearings in the Senate and the House, usually under oath, and sat for several days-long transcribed sworn interviews, answering questions about the very issues that are now the subject of this hearing. However, given Senator Paul's obvious obsession with calling for my prosecution, his repeated slanderous comments about me, and recently his publicly releasing my unredacted personal diary aimed at embarrassing and intimidating me, the only conclusion I can reach is that the sole reason he is calling me before this committee is to get me to say something, anything, that could vindicate his repeated public pledges that I end up, in his words, quote, behind bars, unquote. Any reasonable person who has followed his unhinged obsession with me would readily come to the same conclusion. Therefore,
He's shaking.
although it pains me to do so,
He's so nervous. Holy
because
fuck.
of the respect
Look how nervous
I
he
have
is.
for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions. Thank you.
We will now begin a round of questioning. Dr. Fauci, your testimony today is compelled by a lawful subpoena. As you know, it's a crime under 18 U.S.C. Section 1001 to knowingly make a material false statement to Congress, with a penalty up to 5 years of imprisonment. Understanding that you are under oath, the American people would like to understand your reasoning, your
Stay
rationale.
hydrated. Will do.
for
Thank you for the jewels,
why
Ryan.
you chose to fund
Wellman.
the research in Wuhan. There have been
Grape juice.
intelligence agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the DOE, have all come to the conclusion that more likely than not, the virus came from the lab in Wuhan. And so we'd like to know, what was the rationale? What was the discussion? How, what went behind the decision to fund the research in Wuhan? How did you come to the conclusion that a totalitarian country would be capable of doing this in a BSL-2 lab, a lab that lacked the security?
I'm going to do a
What was the
video.
reasoning, and are you sorry, basically, for making the decision? Would you, given another chance, say, well, gosh, circumstances now, as I know it, maybe it wasn't a wise thing. Can you explain to the committee why you chose to fund this dangerous research in China?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
He's going to do this every question.
In the red folder on your table is a copy of Section 192 of Title II of the U.S. Code. Your counsel has been provided a copy as well. That section makes it a crime for a witness appearing under subpoena to refuse to answer any questions pertinent to the question under inquiry. Do you have that in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Let the record record that the witness has refused to answer whether there's a folder in front of him based on his Fifth Amendment right. It is true that you're appearing under direction of our subpoena to provide testimony on matters under consideration by the committee, including the origins of COVID-19, risky life sciences research, and your tenure as a federal government employee. Additionally, you've been provided a full and unconditional pardon dated January 19th, 2025, for any offenses against the United States which may have been committed or taken part from January 1st, 2014 through the date of the
What's up,
pardon.
Ollie? I see you in the chat.
Period. Arising from or in any manner related to your service as director of the National Institute for Allergy and Infectious Diseases, as a member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, or the White House COVID-19 response team, or as chief medical advisor to the president. Have you refused this pardon, or do you have any reason to believe this full and unconditional pardon, this grant of immunity?
Yeah, why did he get a pardon? For what?
Require you to plead the Fifth Amendment?
Good questions. Why is he
On the
pardoned?
advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Not going to answer anything.
Based on the facts presented, I'm going to direct you to answer the questions.
Plead the
committee
Fifth.
has issued a valid subpoena. They have requested your presence here. The questions are very pertinent to your
We're live on YouTube and Kick and Twitch and all those things right now. Watching Fauci plead the Fifth about everything. Get your ass in here.
Questions?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
I did an Instagram story.
Let's do the.
I'm real Stan Price on Instagram if you guys want to follow. It's one of them. I got too many Instagrams.
Were you ever made aware of gain-of-function research on monkeypox being conducted at the National Biodefense Analysis and Countermeasure Center, NBAC, at Fort Detrick?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Dr. Fauci, did the CIA ever transfer funds to NIH under an interagency agreement?
He says it like 111 times or
On
something.
the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
I'm going to, but I need the long list of the gain-of-function questions. Dr. Fauci, did the NIH ever conduct research for or in coordination with any element of the intelligence community, CIA, ODNI?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
The reason why these questions are important is, President Trump has done a ban, and we're glad that he did a ban on gain-of-function research. So we're better off than we were when we had an advocate serving as head of NIAID, an advocate for gain-of-function research. There is still, though, a question, though, whether or not the intelligence community is adhering to that order. There's a question of whether or not gain-of-function research is still ongoing.
Stan, when you do another public appearance?
Important questions.
I do stand-up comedy all the time now.
Dr. Fauci,
I was going to go tonight, but then all this stuff happened.
Department of Homeland Security program, any prospective special access program concerning gain-of-function research?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Has he said it 10 times yet? Because he says it 111 times or some shit.
When we look at the research in China, the gain-of-function research that you've denied was gain-of-function, one of the things that startled the scientists when they saw COVID in the first couple of weeks was when they looked at the sequence of it, they said, oh my God, there's a furin cleavage site in it. And in this particular family of coronaviruses, the sarbecoviruses, they'd never seen this before. They were also startled to look at it and see
the blonde
how it
smoke
was
show in the
for, what
back. A lot of people
codons were.
asking.
And to
Yeah,
discover
and why
that
isn't
the
Fauci
codons
wearing a
used
mask?
out of
That would be the
36
funniest
different
shit.
possibilities turned out to be the one that was commonly used in gene manipulation by scientists. Dr. Fauci, were the scientists at the Wuhan Institute of Virology capable of inserting a furin cleavage site into a coronavirus?
On
You're
the
gonna
advice
see
of
Kill
counsel,
Tony on
I
Friday and watch
respectfully
the killers
decline
there?
to
That's
answer
sick.
based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
So one of the experiments that was pretty common was they would take the backbone of a SARS virus. And this would be a SARS virus that the backbone itself wasn't that dangerous, but then they would dig through guano, 300 feet underground, bat guano. They'd find other viruses, unknown viruses.
Bat
They'd
guano.
take the S protein off of an unknown virus and stick
tasty.
it on a backbone. And then they would infect mice that have humanized cells. And they were trying to discover if they could create a virus that infects humans.
Just chewing gum,
Now, many people would
kick
say,
her
well,
out.
gosh, that doesn't sound like
She's
a really
working out
good
her jaw
idea
muscles.
to create viruses that don't exist in nature to see if they'll infect human cells. What if one escaped? What if you keep infecting this and do serial passage, you actually adapt the virus to be infectious to humans? So the question is whether or not Dr. Fauci, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, was combining an S protein with one virus with the backbone of others, and could this lead to a virus, maybe it wasn't even predicted, but could it lead to viruses that gained in function and then could lead to a pandemic?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
I heard he changes his mind and
One of
started
the
answering
arguments
questions.
that you and others have made
Lefty
against
told
this
me.
virus coming from the lab is it couldn't have come from the viruses that have been published. And nobody's really arguing that. I think from the very beginning, people acknowledged that the viruses that have been published are
we got
too
a
far
kick.
evolutionarily
Chat. What's up,
distant
George? I see you in
from,
kick.
a virus that could have become COVID-19. But what has never been acknowledged by the side who tries to call the other side a conspiracy theory, which is really something you don't usually see in a scientific debate. This is the first time I've ever seen an article printed in Lancet by your friends who called this a conspiracy theory. You know, these are the kind of things you see as a screed on a political, website. You don't really see this in science. But when they release this as being a conspiracy theory, we're wondering that when you do this, when you combine these viruses and are able to grow them in humanized cells, whether or not this kind of risky research, whether you call it gain of function or not, whether you use the definition of gain of function, whether this kind of research should have had more scrutiny. I think in your House testimony, you testified that you never traveled to China and that you were unaware that anybody at NIH ever examined the labs, that you trusted the Chinese scientists. I think you said that even recently, that with your discretion, you trusted the Chinese scientists. The problem is that even in our country, we trust our scientists. They're good American scientists, probably doing the right thing for America. But at the same time, we oversight to make sure it's not dangerous research, but we also investigate the lab. I believe Fort Detrick was one of our main labs was closed down in the last year or two because of, research institute, a research incident that was dangerous with dangerous pathogens. And so the American people would want to know, how could you approve this dangerous research in China, say that you trusted the Chinese scientists, and then in the end, you had to admit that you'd never been there, and none of your inspectors had ever been there. Dr. Fauci, had any of the labs where this dangerous research was occurring, were any American lab oversight or lab investigators, did they ever appear in these labs to make sure that
Welcome
they
in
were
and talk
safe
about
labs?
Trump's pick for head of justice. Nobody wanted to watch it.
Counsel, I respectfully decline.
Everyone's
to
here
answer
watching this. This is
based
what they
upon
want to
my
watch.
Rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Crazy concept, I know.
So one of the
George,
main
thanks
theories
for the,
those who
what do we got
looked
there?
at, this being created in the lab was the
Can you
idea
lower the
that,
tariffs on
could
your
have come from
YouTube
a virus
memberships?
Not previously published.
think I
Dr.
can.
Fauci, are you aware that Dr.
I should do a
Shi,
$3
who
one.
worked for the Wuhan Institute of Virology,
Isn't there a $3 one?
Was said to, and I think in her own words, to have over 100 viruses that had not been previously published that could have been a close enough relative
On my main
to
channel, I
create
have a 99
COVID-19.
cent
Are
one
you
called
aware of
Thrifty
that?
Boys Club.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Under your testimony previously, when you denied ever having funded gain of function in China, it was so adamant as to be striking, to leave no room for any interpretation of what is or isn't gain of function research. But there's another important question. Did you fund gain of function research in other biolabs around the world?
Yo!
On the
5
advice of
gift
counsel, I
memberships.
respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
The one research project
From
that we do
George.
know you did fund is the one that Ron Fauci did. And it's important to talk about because this sort of was the beginning
Congratulations,
of the debate over
Seema,
gain of function.
Tiny,
This wasn't
Blue
just me.
Loves,
I wasn't even aware of
Rated,
the
and
debate
George
10
himself.
years ago. This was other scientists.
Courtesy of
over
George, you guys are
200
members of the
scientists
channel. That's
that
why he's
became
asking
working
about the
groups
tariff
signed to
costs.
protest because
Thank you
they
so
didn't
much.
think you should fund the
What
research.
do they
and didn't
cost?
think it
Are
should
they
even be
$3?
published
Or are they $5?
Because it was sort of a roadmap as to how to make a bioweapon. So what they did was the avian flu, and this is important. It may be the most important question we get to here today. The avian flu has about 50% mortality for humans. The good news, though, about animal viruses
This veteran
is they don't
salutes
affect
George.
humans very
Thanks,
well.
Kyle.
It will
Hell
infect
yeah,
humans,
same, dude.
but doesn't
Appreciate
go
you,
human to
George.
human very well. Ron Fauci, with the money that you provided to him, did an experiment where he caused purposeful mutations to create a new virus, an avian flu that didn't
Airborne.
just infect birds well, but actually infected mammals well, went ferret to ferret in an aerosolized manner.
Yeah.
People saw this
I
and
heard
were
about that.
aghast, at the decision-making process that you decided to fund this. But this is when, the debate came about, and you wrote in support of this in the Washington Post, and you said, even if a scientist is bitten, even if a pandemic
Trump
should
arrangement
occur,
syndrome? What's
the
that? Is he
knowledge
just
is
super
worth the
organized?
risks. Do you still stand by that? Would you like to qualify at all whether or not the
That's fucking
knowledge of
funny.
gain of
I
function
don't know if you guys caught that in the
is worth
chat.
the risks, particularly in this case,
YouTube
since we
chat.
now know 15 million people died worldwide. Many people believe this came from the lab. Do you think that the risks really are worth the benefits for gain of function research?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights
To be
under
real-
the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's think about, what's the most strategic thing that Fauci can do right now? Is probably
We're gonna
not
finish
answer
with
any
this
questions.
question. And it's
Even though
based
he might
really
be held
on
in
that
contempt,
statement,
it's a
that
risk
general
that he
statement
should
in
be
your support
making.
for gain of
He's
function.
willing to do that risk.
The idea that
That's why he's
the
taking it this
benefits
far.
outweigh the risks. So there are many other people who disagree, and they aren't politicians or not. I don't know what party they're in. David Relman is probably one of the most esteemed. And he is a
So
scientist
it
at
makes
Stanford.
sense that he's
He,
doing
think,
that.
has
I don't like
classified
that he's doing
clearance.
it,
He's
but it
been a
makes sense
consultant
when you're thinking
to our
he's in
government
self-preservation
probably for a
mode.
decade or more.
The last thing he should do is answer any
And
of these
he's written about
questions.
this publicly. He says the opposite. He said that the risks of this research do
Bro,
not.
she is on her phone
outweigh
and
the
she has like
benefits.
30
He
binders.
said the risks we shouldn't do it.
Do you think she's on Instagram
Richard
right now?
Ebright, who's been
What do you
involved
guys think
in
her
this
Insta
debate
is?
for 2 decades, says the same thing. Says we really shouldn't
back
be
there
doing
on
this
that phone.
at all. There's a quote also by the Kevin Esfelt quote.
Hey,
is at
Batty, give us the
very
papers.
end.
Fauci knows what he's doing having her back there,
Kevin
dude.
Esfelt,
He's pulling the old Trump
who's a
trick.
CRISPR
Trump does that trick
scientist
all the
at
time.
MIT also wrote about this gain of function. I implore every scientist, funder, and nation working in the field, please stop. No more trying to discover or make pandemic-capable viruses. No more experiments likely to disseminate blueprints for plagues.
Hold on, I
Dr.
read
Fauci,
something.
would
Where
you
was
like
this?
to at least answer this one question for us today and let us know whether or not
is
you've
it on here?
changed your mind on whether or not the benefits of gain-of-function research outweigh the risks?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It's over here. This is so vapid and
The
uninformed.
chairman has
Anyone
denied your
coming
assertion
here to
of
get political
privilege and
insight is
directed
so
you to
lost in the
answer.
sauce. This is
But you
embarrassing.
nonetheless refuse and stand on privilege.
Here's my
despite the
political
existence of
insight.
the pardon. The committee
None of
will
this
have to
shit fucking
consider
matters
after
at the
this
end of the
hearing what
day.
appropriate action should
Literally,
be
this
taken
whole thing,
against
nothing's
you
gonna
for
happen
failure
from
to
it.
testify after being directed
It's just
to do so. It's against the law to
Entertainment at
obstruct
this point.
an investigation
We're here
of
to just
Congress.
point
There
and
will be
laugh for the
repercussions
most part.
to your refusal to testify today.
Yeah, don't come here for
Senator
like some
Peters.
crazy political analysis. You come here to point and laugh. Because that's what we're going to do. We're just going to point and laugh at the absurdity of it all for the most part.
You're not recognized. You're not recognized.
Oh, this is
If
when he
you
kicks
are
out the
unruly,
lawyer.
You will be removed from the proceeding.
Kick his ass
you
out.
Are not, you are not
Kick his ass
recognized,
out.
and you are not recognized, sir. Sir, you are not recognized. You are not recognized.
Sir.
Security.
Security, sir.
We'll hold off. But you will respect these proceedings. You were told not to sit at the table. You insist on sitting at the table.
You like
And we
Fauci?
told you
No,
you
I
would
don't
not
fucking
be
like 'em.
recognized. You are not invited here for testimony, sir. You are being disruptive. Would you behave this way in a courtroom? No, because the judge would put you in jail. I can't do that today, but I can have you escorted from the premises. So I would say, sir, sit quietly and don't say another word. I said, sit quietly. You are not recognized.
I bet
another
it's a
word
Jew. Oh my God, bro. You guys are so Jew-brained. Everything's Jews. It's fucking hilarious, though. $2.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like
Why
to
are you
hear
not monetized on
what
Kickstand?
the attorney has to say.
He is not recognized by the
they gotta
committee
talk
or
to
the
me. I don't know.
chair.
I gotta
If
get-
he speaks
I
again,
gotta, like, email
he
them or
will be
something.
removed from the room. This testimony
I'll
is
push
from
kick more
Anthony
if they
Fauci.
put
This
my
is not a
streams out
game
there.
with his lawyers. He can advise. His lawyers can give him advice.
You are not
He's got a half
recognized.
dozen here. They're all allowed to talk to him.
Yes.
All right? But the attorneys are not recognized. In fact, the attorney was told not to sit at the table, and he's not obeying that recommendation. There's a row behind you, sir. That's where you were told to sit, and you're not. And now you're disrupting the proceedings. And so, look, this is the way Anthony Fauci wants to be remembered, for a lawyer not listening to the rules. That's the way you want to be remembered, and that's what you're going to do. You are not recognized, sir.
Sir?
Security, please remove him from the room.
Yeah! There we go. Kick his ass out of the fucking room. Let's go. Kick his ass out. That's what I'm talking about.
I just go into your...
Bye, Felicia. Pack your shit. Get the fuck out. Goodbye. Should have shut the fuck
Let
up
the record
Friday.
state that Dr. Fauci will still have the advice of the other half a dozen attorneys that he brought along today.
Yay.
Senator Peters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The COVID-19 pandemic is not the first or the last public health crisis to impact our nation. In December 2022,
My grandma died alone
I
because
released
of
a
him.
report that identified
sorry that happened,
significant
friend.
failures in our federal government's
Gaveffe?
preparedness
That's what I need right now.
and initial
Gaveffe.
response to COVID-19. This report contained 17 key findings. It's a very large report, which I have right here. It contains 17 key findings and corresponding recommendations, including the need to invest in sustainable domestic manufacturing capabilities for critical medical supplies, build the infrastructure needed to surge testing
Make it
capacity
meaner.
for infectious diseases,
It's on the side of Fauci.
and
You change
robustly
it.
fund public health emergency preparedness and responses across all levels of government. Unfortunately, multiple administrations, including the current Trump administration, have failed to fund or to reform our health preparedness. This is something that I would hope the committee in the future would investigate. It needs to be taken a look at. It also feels like a new public health threat is hitting us every month. There's a foodborne parasite affecting thousands of people in
Diarrhea
Michigan
lettuce.
and across the country, and our federal agencies
love diarrhea
still
lettuce.
haven't fully pinned down the source
Why 7
of that
lawyers?
outbreak.
Good question.
Measles cases in this country are at the highest they've been in 35 years. More children are getting sick and even hospitalized from this preventable disease. Over 1,000 people have died from the Ebola virus in Africa, and we don't know how widespread this crisis actually is. We have a hantavirus scare on a cruise ship, and though it hasn't made headlines in the way
just not
that
following.
the screwworm threatening our food security has, I remain concerned about bird flu that is also spreading and could one day cause a pandemic. This is also something this committee should be investigating and holding hearings on. Since January 2025, the Trump administration has taken a number of actions to drastically weaken our ability to fight infectious
Am I a
diseases
trans
and
girl or
biological
boy?
threats that endanger Americans. These
Both.
actions are
You can't tell?
both
How dare you
incomprehensible
assume?
and are also inexcusable. They include slashing funding for public health and infectious disease research, canceling contracts for cutting-edge vaccine technology, shutting agencies responsible for tackling infectious diseases around the world, firing thousands of
I'm gonna
federal
skip ahead
employees with
of
keeping
this
our
guy.
communities and our medicines and our food supply safe.
That
I'm skipping ahead
unmasked
to the
those safety signals.
questions.
They showed dozens of safety signals. including sudden cardiac death, cerebral artery occlusion,
Bro, it's going to be
basal
like an
ganglia
hour
stroke,
of these people
vagal
talking
rhythm, Bell's palsy,
before it even gets back to Fauci it anyway.
and pulmonary
There we
infarct.
go.
Actually, did Dr. Morin's relationship with Peter Daszak concern you? Yes or no?
The Fifth Amendment, you say, I'm not going to testify. I'm not going to give you any information. You don't then get to put your lawyer forward to justify it. He can do it in the press, but you can't come and testify. He was not invited to testify, and he was out of order, and it was appropriate to have him injected. Senator.
Memory of more than 1 million Americans.
To answer based upon my rights
Hold
under
on.
the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Right here.
Senator.
Chairman Paul, thank you for doing this. I think I know in my state people have been asking questions about Dr. Fauci for years. So, Dr. Fauci, your entry has made clear that you love being a hero, a celebrity, and here having the eyes of the world upon you. You loved every newspaper profile, every photo shoot, every fancy dinner with the elites. Americans who lost family members, who lost trust in our federal government, you're not a hero. Unfortunately, you're a villain. You made yourself the story and abandoned the American people to serve your own ego. To begin, I would like to talk about your relationship with David Morin's. He was the senior advisor in the NIAID, Office of the Director, your office, for 16 years. He was your friend. He was a frequent guest at your house. You reportedly co-authored over 50 scientific articles with him. You turned to him first right after COVID-19 first occurred. Earlier this year, the Department of Justice charged him with conspiracy against the United States, in addition to other charges as part of a conspiracy to conceal information.
I think what I'm going to do from here, from this point,
alternative theories,
because we kind of saw like a lot of this. I have all of this entire thing. Like I have all the highlights right here. Okay. So I'm going to go over this. And we're going to shoot a video. So if you guys want to be in the video, say hello, say hi, YouTube. This is, and it's going to go on Facebook and X and Rumble. It's going on everything. Let me go ahead and record this. I'll do a stream marker. Live. Stream marker and recording. Will that work? Oh, the recording is not working. Let's see if I can fix that while I'm live. I might not be able to. Give me a second. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do anything while we're live. So we're just gonna have to do the online version. That's fine. Here we go. All right, YouTube video time. Let's shoot this. So we have I have all of the moments from this whole thing. All right, so we're gonna start this with the attorney getting kicked out. We just saw that, and we're gonna kind of pick up from there and go over all the highlights from the rest of it. All right, here we go. So let me open this video. Let's see here. The Fauci hearing in Congress was today, and he pled the fifth 111 times. At one point during this, his lawyer got kicked out. Check this out.
But the attorneys are not recognized. In fact, the attorney was told not to sit at the table, and he's not obeying that recommendation. There's a row behind you, sir. That's where you were told to sit, and you're not. And now you're disrupting the proceedings. And so, look, this is the way Anthony Fauci wants to be remembered, for a lawyer not listening to the rules. That's the way you want to be remembered, and that's what you're going to do. You are not recognized, sir. Security, please remove him from the room.
That's right. Kick his ass out of the fucking courtroom. Yeah, he's not even supposed to be sitting there. Why is he sitting at the desk? He's supposed to be sitting in the back row with everyone else. He's just like, fuck that role. I'm going to sit next to him anyways. Yeah, that's right. Get the fuck out. Fuck out of here, dude. Throw him out. Take his jacket and his shoes. All right, throw him out into the cold. Stupid bastard. There's so much happened. Basically, he just pled the fifth on every single freaking question. And what sorry, I had to burp. And what Rand Paul committed, and what Rand Paul announced, and what Rand Paul had to say about it was that he's probably going to be, what's it called? Fucking held in contempt of Congress because if you have a pardon, you're not allowed to plead the fifth. I didn't know that.
Questions, even after. But he was subpoenaed here to testify, refused to answer any questions, even after being directed by the chair and being advised of the law requiring him to do so. He has cited a privilege that is unsupported because of his blanket pardon and because he waived the privilege by testifying at the start. I'm going to give you one more opportunity to comply with the law, limited to the period of your pardon. At any point between January 1st, 2014 and January 19th, 2025, did you destroy any federal record or tell anyone else to?
Under the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
I really thought he was going to answer there for a second because he like pulled out a special card, right? But no, he just said the same thing. John Fetterman got involved. Now, you know when John Fetterman is, you know he's serious when he put a fucking suit on. This guy just wears sweatshirts everywhere. Today, he wore a suit.
It's not about much more your regrets, but I have one. And that is early on that there was the theory that the virus could have emerged from the lab. And early on, that became like a right-wing kinds of theory. And I thought it seemed to make sense. Now, there was a really advanced lab that was close by, and then you have this unknown virus out. So, but that became a very partisan thing. And now it seems now it's more and more emerging theory that that would have come from the lab. Now, I think that the next time our nation's facing something like this, we are not become, as I might have been, blinded by the partisan idea that maybe the truth might come from a side that's different than you are. But I think we should really be willing to pursue truth, no matter where that may have emerged, for all of that.
I don't know what he just said at all. Like I was listening, but I didn't. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he just said or what that accomplished at all. But yeah, he was there, and he's talking about quote unquote right-wing conspiracies and saying maybe not so conspiracy after all. I do like that part. Fauci wouldn't even answer what day of the week it was. He wouldn't answer what color tie he's wearing. He wouldn't even answer what color the carpet is.
What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color is the carpet in front of you?
Not gonna answer it.
Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have.
So here's this guy explaining how you don't have the Fifth Amendment right if you've been pardoned. So let's go through that.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally, cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic.
This guy always cooks. Listen, you got to understand, these guys are all clip farming, okay? Anytime this stuff happens, I'm so content brand, I can just see this a mile away. Because I just live on the internet. I live and breathe content creation, right? This is what I do full time. This is my full-time job. I can see, like, this guy, they're all getting their clips because they know that we're all going to share them around. 100%. This is the same shit Twitch streamers do, or just streamers. I say Twitch streamers, but because I'm old. Yeah, streamers, us streamers, you know, like, bro, if I was out and about doing stuff with other streamers and I'm in front of their streams and shit, I'm gonna try and clip farm. I want people to clip me and shit me. All right, that's what these guys are doing. It's good for business, honestly. Even though, like, I mean, you can be on whoever side that you want, you know. Like, I agree with you know, pressing Fauci here on all this stuff, but there's no way hell he's gonna answer any questions, and that's a smart strategy from his side of things. The best thing he can do is not answer shit, which is what he's doing. Don't even answer what color your tie is, right? We can sit here and make fun of him all we want, but his strategy is the best strategy for him in the situation that he's in. The only thing that we have is we have to wait to see if they're going to vote in this hearing, or I think it's like in a week or something, and they're going to vote to see if he's going to be held in contempt or not. And all the lefties are not going to vote that, and all the righties are. So it just kind of depends on the volume of each in this voting situation. Okay, we already saw that one. Okay, so this woman starts asking him about transgender mice experiments. Let's go.
We have learned that U.S. coronavirus researchers at UNC shipped, quote, humanized or transgenic mice to China by around 2017 for use in their dangerous coronavirus work. Under your NIAID coronavirus, researchers also used
Are you a Republican or Democrat? You can't tell.
In mice
okay, hold on.
Researchers also used aborted baby body parts
Ew.
in mice research.
What the fuck?
And taxpayers paid for them to do that.
That's crazy.
NIH-funded coronavirus researcher Dr. Ralph Barrick and his colleagues at UNC put parts of livers, thymuses, and chunks of human fetal lung that they got from aborted, almost 5-month-old human babies. They put those parts in their research mice.
The fuck? That's crazy.
They disgustingly named them BLTL mice and wrote they had created a, quote, sandwich of aborted body parts in the mice. Get it, folks? BLT.
And it's kind of funny, and honestly, I'm fucked up like that, though. That's a joke I would tell on stage. Next, bro, I'm writing that down. I'm gonna write down the BLT. That's a fucked up joke. Oh my god, I'm so excited to tell it. That's hilarious. BLT aborted fetus parts. From Fauci meeting. Okay, I'll work that joke out more later, but I just got to get the idea down. That's fucking crazy. BLT sandwich of baby parts. What the hell? I know it's disgusting, but like that's what makes the joke so fucking crazy. I got to tell that joke. It's true. Fauci fraudulently claimed ivermectin didn't work, so the government could inject the entire population with emergency use authorized gene therapies. 106 studies involving 200,000 patients show ivermectin. Okay, hold on. I heard a lot about this. It was all from the Joe Rogan thing, right? A horse dewormer, right? But they like everyone conveniently left out that like ivermectin has like a spin-off brand for horses. It's not like their main thing.
I've got the studies right here. There was a website that was tracking the random controlled studies. Here they are, showing 60, 70% efficacy of ivermectin. The same day you say there's no evidence, there was all kinds of evidence. Loved ones had to go to hospitals, had to sue hospitals. Just, would you try it? So I would want to know, to what extent were you involved in sabotaging hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, and did you do that because you knew
He's getting an answer this time.
The only way you get an emergency use authorization for these drugs.
Yeah. He's getting an answer this time.
Experimental gene therapy was if there was no effective treatment, you couldn't get the emergency use authorization. So
Turn it up. Is it low?
You help sabotage these cheap generic drugs in favor of remdesivir, which, by the way, nurses, are you aware of the fact that nurses called it "run, death is near"?
He's going to answer. He's going to answer. Yep, this is the one.
Advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
I thought he was going to answer that time. Here's the funniest thing. Okay. Here's the funniest thing. All right. Here is Fauci previously talking about how he would handle things if he was brought into a congressional hearing like he was today.
All right. The answer is, if there are oversight hearings, I absolutely will cooperate fully and testify before the Congress if asked. You may not know, but I've testified before the Congress a few hundred times.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, over the last 40 years
Okay.
or so. So I have no trouble testifying. We can defend and explain and stand by everything that we've said. So I have nothing to hide.
Which is funny, you know? Hold on, I just had it. It's right here.
Although it pains me to do so, because of the respect I have for the legislative branch of government and my decades-long record of cooperating with Congress, under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions. Thank you. Although it pains...
I thought he had no problem answering questions. I thought he's done this like 50 million times. All right, there's the end of that video. Fauci thing is done. Now, I have a bunch of other stuff that we could talk about. There's so many things. Holy shit. So I have all these links right here and all these links right here. Hold up. Let me go. Okay. Here's my Facebook, by the way, if you guys want to follow. I put all my content over here. I was streaming over here the other day, but literally nobody watched, so I don't think I'm going to stream on Facebook. All right. So, yeah, we have a lot of stories to cover. But I also have Trump. Here he is speaking at Lindsey Graham's funeral, and he also did a little speech earlier today in the White House. So if you guys want to watch that, I think we can get into these next. All right, here we go. Let's start with Trump in the Oval Office.
Thank you very much, everybody. This is very exciting to me as a builder, somebody that builds lots of big, nice projects before I got here. And we're doing some of the best in the world right now. This is all about the Dulles Airport remodeling. It's considered one of the worst airports anywhere in the world. We're going to make it maybe the best with some hard work and some good thought process. But thank you for being here as we unveil exciting plans for a major and long overdue renovation and reconstruction of Washington's really horribly thought of Dulles International Airport. I want to thank Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy. He's fantastic. He's doing a great job, including having to do with the safety of airlines and getting in with the control towers and all new equipment that we'll be ordering in the not too distant future. So that we'll go from, again, one of the worst countries in the world for that, and we'll end up being one of the best countries in the world. That's automation, having to do with landings, takeoffs, and safety. But for his leadership at this important project, and that's the Dulles project, thanks as well to the CEO of United Airlines, Scott Kirby. Thank you, Scott. CEO of the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority, Jack Potter. Thank you, Jack. And we've developed a great relationship with them. We're going to make this something special. As well as a member of the Airports Authority Board of Directors, Trent Morse. Thank you, Trent. Thank you very much.
That looks good. Look at that. That looks pretty good, right?
Is the primary international gateway to our nation's capital, which is now one of the safest cities in the country. It's one of the hottest cities in the country. We are the hottest country in the world. But our nation's capital has made tremendous improvements in the last year and a half since we got here.
Leave it on
Crime
the right.
is down by 84%. We've removed 8,000, almost 8,000 career-hardened criminals. And amazing statistic, 2% of the people cause 91% of the crime. And we can handle that really easily. So they've done, I just want to thank our great National Guard and the Metropolitan Police and others that worked with us. But the job in Washington, everyone's talking about. I can also say, if you look at Memphis, Tennessee, where crime was rampant, and it's down now 71%, and it'll go down still further. And Louisiana, New Orleans, the governor called, he said, we need help. And we gave him help, and the crime is down 72%. And they just finished Mardi Gras, and they said it was the safest Mardi Gras on record. So we have
safest Mardi Gras on record? That doesn't sound as fun. That sounds like way less titties.
Ranked Dulles 23 out of 27. That's a very bad ranking. Large airports nationwide, so it ranks at the bottom of the list, just about the bottom of the list. After an extensive review of more than 30 proposals with the top architects anywhere in the world, and I was involved with Sean and with a lot of other people actually, but Scott was very much involved, I can tell you. But we are announcing plans to add more than 5 million square feet of new or renovated space. We'll replace the current C and D concourses, which are basic disasters, all the while preserving the iconic original terminal. That is one of the great architects of the world did the original terminal, and it was very, very important that it be.
What was wrong with my
It's
camera?
one of the reasons. It was both an asset and a liability. The liability is that nobody wanted to build anything near it.
I'd rather smoke Mardi Gras.
And people had to walk crazy distances, and it's no good, not acceptable. So we've addressed it all, and we have a plan that's going to be phenomenal. But we're going to replace the C&D concourses and preserve the iconic original terminal that first made the airport an architectural landmark. So it's going to be something you can sort of see a little example of it right here. That's your front. On the other side of the street, we're building a massive 9-story, 8-story, 10-story, we're not sure yet. But we're building a parking garage that will be right next to the terminal. You'll walk right across the street, and you'll have a glass bridge, a number of glass bridges that will go right into the terminal. Right now, you have to walk so far. You have to walk blocks and blocks to get to the terminal. And we have an empty site right directly across the street that nobody wanted to tinker with, which was crazy. So we're going to have a magnificent garage.
Why did you turn black?
How many cars?
32,000.
My friend sent me a funny joke today.
32,000.
That he said.
It'll be actually the largest garage in the world. 32,000.
God is black.
Mostly above ground. We don't like down. People don't like going down underneath.
Hold on, let me read it.
Mostly above ground. It'll be beautiful.
God must be black.
But a central walking tunnel and a new air train connections will provide travelers with
comedian friend. He wrote this one himself.
Really,
God must be a black man, because everyone calls him father, but we've never seen him.
Get onto another bus. It's a worse airport. This plan also includes expanded options for parking, modern check-in areas, more efficient security screenings, hotels, et cetera, et cetera. Could have a beautiful hotel right on the property, but further away so that we can
and this
use
is
the good
like a
location,
pretty
frankly,
lefty
the
friend
best
of mine that
location
sent
to
that
park
joke
it.
to me, which
So
is
people
funny.
literally will be able to park their car
The
and
lefty
walk
comedian
15
friend of
yards
mine.
and they'll be in the terminal. In addition, many of the new restaurants and shops will be added, including plans for
I
one of
make
the
good
largest
lefty friends.
United
My lefty friends will make
Polaris
jokes like
lounges
that.
anywhere in the world, and it'll be a beautiful level of luxury. This transformation
I slipped
is
on some
another
black
step
ice
in
when I
our
got up. My
ongoing
wallet was
efforts to
gone.
make
Oh my God.
Washington, D.C. safe and beautifully
I'm doing
gay.
blackface right now.
The safety aspects, both in terms of the airlines and in terms of crime, are unparalleled for what we're doing. For years, the United States has watched other major cities around the globe welcome travelers with grand and modern airports, yet the last major airport built in the United States was Denver in 1995, and it hasn't gotten very great reviews. That's more than 30 years ago.
Look like
we're
a
doing
female
something
Muslim
with
live streamer.
Dulles
Bro.
That's going to make it.
That's hilarious.
I think the top, maybe the top anywhere in the
Oh
world.
my God, I wonder
And
if
by
I
the way,
could
Palm
do-
Beach is going to be
Ooh.
one of the top two. Palm Beach is going to be incredible what the plans are. The people, Joe.
I
and
could
all
create
the
a
people
button that
working
makes
in
my
Palm Beach
eyes
that have
open
such
up in a
mag-
square so you can only
that
see my
have done
eyes.
Such an incredible job.
I
That's
could make
gonna
that
be
happen on my
an
streaming software.
unbelievable
I know how to do
airport
that.
very shortly. So it's time to ensure that the United States has the greatest airports anywhere in the world, and we're starting right here with the capital city. And you can see just before Sean goes up, if you take a look, this is only showing the terminal in one rung, but you have numerous of them. You have here, 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 and you have a spine coming. Here's your main entrance. You have a spine coming right through the building into these massive ports. Now,
I'm right
the
here,
planes
Coconut Cowboy.
won't have to be bothered because we drop down a little bit and our walkways underneath. We have systems, walking
They're talking about
systems
some
that go
building
very
they're
quickly,
making.
or you can walk because it's very close. But this is it. So you enter here. You have a parking garage, which will be built right here. This whole thing is parking garage. 32, probably 32,000.
Your on-screen chat is different than ours?
That'll be a world record. And very convenient. And then you'll have glass tunnels.
It
that go
has
into
Twitch,
the airport
Kick,
right from
both
here. So
YouTubes. I have two
you'll be
different
one
YouTube
story
streams.
above. This road stays, beautified and stays. We keep this. This is your landmark. This is all new. This is your first tunnel, and then you drop down from there on. And so that when you have the planes, will be able to go right across without having to go back, make turns or anything else. It's going to be amazing. It'll be one of the largest airports anywhere in the world, and I think it'll be actually one of the most efficient.
Oh, it's an
and the
airport.
best. So I'd like to ask.
I was barely paying attention,
Duffy
to be honest.
Say a few words.
Okay, they're building an
Jack
airport.
Potter,
Of course,
I'd like
Trump wants to be
welcome
involved in building an
a
airport.
very great
He loves
gentleman
building
to
stuff.
our midst, Jensen Wong, who's here someplace, and he's if we
Where
can
you
do
smoke
with an airport
stogies?
like he does with chips, it'll be the greatest airport anywhere in the world. He looks at this problem
Right
as
here.
being a very simple. He looks at this as being a very simple problem to solve because his chips are a little bit more complicated. But it's important that he's able to travel nicely
Trump's
along
never
with
built a
everybody
thing.
else. And
You don't think he's,
this
like,
is not
been
a very good
involved in,
airport. We're going to make it a great airport.
and hiring an architect?
Sean, please.
Thank you, Mr.
To
President.
make plans for his
to your
buildings, and he looked at
the
them.
president has worked incredibly
and
hard to make
what he wants, what he
DC
doesn't
safe
want, and worked with
beautiful.
these people
I
and
think
figured out
this
how to
is the
make all this
cherry
stuff
on the
happen.
top, Mr. President. This is the
don't think he
gateway
does
to the
that?
world from our
Because that's
nation's
what it takes.
capital. And any of you who've traveled through Dulles,
Just Stan, please respond to this. I
it
really
is-
like you, your
it is
channel,
dark,
and
it
you're really
is
funny. Hey, what's
dated,
up, Latif? I see
little
you.
dank, maybe. It's not a great airport. And so we had multiple architects come in and present to the president. And we are blessed that not only does he give his time to really important matters, but he gave his building skill to take the best of all the designs and come up with this concept. So just if I could quickly point out, we keep the Saarinen building, so that's going to be the foyer, a whole new head house. We are going to get rid of the people movers, Mr. President. So if you don't know what these are like elevated buses. It's kind of like, it looks like it's from Star Wars, if you will. And they're slow and people are angry about them. We are going to get rid of those. We are going to have a horseshoe train system throughout the airport. And as you mentioned, right down the spine of the airport is going to be a walkway. So easy access to all of your gates, fast movement.
Nice.
And what I like the president, he was like, listen, we have to
Vapor
have
with a
great
prime
parking.
sub. Thank you
So
very much.
Pull up to the
Yo, we
airport,
got a bunch of subs
you have
this stream.
Easy access.
That's like sub
to
number
the
6
concourses,
or
to
something.
the terminal. And
Thank you so much.
I think this is one of the best designs, Mr. President, probably because
Twitch
you,
Prime.
you actually did it.
Chose me to
I think
give it
you'll see in
to.
the country as a whole.
I love
we've
planes.
this is bipartisan, Mr.
Your
President.
internet is choppy?
A lot of people, whether you're Republican or
I have
Democrat,
0 drop
you
frames.
hate the way Dulles operates.
Try the turn
so
the
everyone's
setting,
come
the
together
quality down a
and
little
we're
bit if
building
it's
for
laggy
America
for you.
and building for the future. And it's your vision that made this happen. So thank you for doing this. And it's going to be, I think, it's going to be the premier airport in our country when you're done with it.
Well, thus far, what John said about bipartisan really is
Starry, I
bipartisan.
see you in the
and
chat.
I don't know
Critical,
if that's,
Dragon,
because it's the right thing
Vapor,
to do, which
Ominous
it is, but it's
Shadows,
also that
Bella
whether you're
Dim
a
JR.
Republican or Democrat, you don't want to go and be subjected to this airport because this airport is it's a terrible place to be, and it's going to be. I believe it's going to go. It'll be rated within a few years. It'll be rated the best airport in the country. So it's going to be so efficient. Right now, it's totally inefficient. Between the trams and the Star Wars thing that they call it the Star Wars and
George says, "What are we
elevated
drinking, chat?"
buses and nobody knows what's going on. It's a real mess. And
I should not be drinking anything
as you know,
other
United,
than my one
is
energy drink
subjected
and
to
then
it.
water.
It doesn't help United very much. He's been very much
That's the last
involved
sip.
with what we've done.
Now water.
And other airlines
Have a shout
too.
out.
And I have to
SAX
say that
does it all
we've
in
had
the
over
chat.
30
What's up, dude?
architects and 30 different designs. And we did a little cherry picking and we spoke to a lot of people about it. And we've come up with a plan that's efficient and really beautiful. And I think it's going to give you one of the most beautiful, keeping the Saarinen. So Saarinen was one of the great architects of the world. And when he built this, 30 years ago, I guess, or about that, this was considered one of the, like the eighth wonder of the world. This was considered the greatest terminal anywhere in the country. And it is, it needs some work, it needs some fix up, but it'll be architecturally amazing, the rounded glass and the whole thing, massive, massive sheets of glass.
I like to watch Trump
drink
carrot juice. Something about it
we'll
seems so right.
Be using that, and it's going to be fixed. We're using it again as the primary.
He could be orange, like he's the most orange guy in the room.
That's about it, because essentially this is a brand new airport, and yet we're going to be able to work it well enough that it'll work at least as efficiently as it works
Love your
right
show.
now.
It's gold. Thanks, Craig.
And in the end, you're going to end up with, I think, maybe the best airport and one of the biggest airports anywhere in the world. And it's going to be a great thing for Washington, D.C. So could I ask Jack to say a few words, please?
Yes.
Jack?
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you
Why
for your
haven't we
inspiration
arrested
here
anyone
and
from the
challenge.
Epstein
You challenged
files?
all of us to step into the issues
Probably
that you just
the reasons
described.
everyone
We're very
thinks,
proud of the process
you know,
that
I
you've
mean,
gone
I don't
through.
know.
We're very happy that United Airlines,
Something's
the
going
Airports
on.
Authority,
This shit got
and the
deleted.
other airlines have agreed to step up and fund this thing. So this is not requiring federal dollars.
Why is Orange
This is gonna be
yapping? Because he's
airport-generated dollars,
the
airline
world's number one
contributions,
content
which
creator.
is phenomenal. It means that we're off to a
that's
fast
his
start
job.
here.
And he
We're
loves it.
engaging with the Saranen family to make sure that they stay intimately involved with this. All the aspects that were just described, I think, will make this a world-class airport. And you challenged us to do this. We're building off of growth, though.
Your
I have to
reaction
tell you.
videos
Our airport
are
was
sometimes the
fastest-growing
highlight
airport
of
in
my day.
24
Keep doing what you're
25
doing.
any large
Only
airport in the country.
sometimes.
So,
What
we're
the
going to
fuck,
continue to
Andy?
build on the momentum that we have. And we're excited about
Thanks
taking
for
on this
stopping by.
challenge. And it will be a challenge to construct this. And our goal is to construct it and make sure that the traveling public is there'll be minimal impact
But he's
to them
our
as they
orange
transit
man,
through
yes.
our airport. So again, Mr. President, thank you for your inspiration, and we look forward to you to continue to participate in this in the coming years, because we're going to bring designs to you and other things. So we very much look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. Great job, Tim. Scott, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Secretary and Jack and everyone. We're really, at United, we're really excited to have this project get off the ground. The terminal that's out there today was
Finally,
built 45
a
years
Jewish
ago. It was
comment.
meant to be temporary.
What the fuck,
And
dude?
so I've spent my whole career at United Airlines
That's a
waiting
comment.
for this day,
It's-
and all the people
Jesus.
of United Airlines have spent even longer waiting for the day that we could have really the best airport.
Now I'm trying to find
in
which one
the
he's
world.
talking about.
This design is one that works
Love from
great for the
Colorado.
airline. The President
Ayo,
talked about
Denver here.
how
Let's go.
It works great for on the outside for the airline. But it's going to be a beautiful airport inside for customers. It's something that all of us at United, but really
My bad, all the time. Okay,
Americans
that's
will be able
better.
to be
Thank you,
proud
Emmett.
of
That's
having
much
an
better.
airport when people come into the capital that really represents what the United States of America stands for. So I'm proud of it as a CEO of United, but proud of it as an American as well. That's right.
It's going to be a great one. Thank you. And thank you for your help. And Trent, would you
fallen
like to say
asleep?
something?
Yeah,
He's not
thank you,
that
Mr.
tired
President,
yet.
for your leadership on this. On behalf of the MWA board, this is something
Put him
that
in a
everyone's
funeral,
tried to
maybe.
do
Those
for
are boring.
decades, and no one's been
I'd
able
fall
to get it
asleep,
done.
too.
And without the president's leadership on it, we'd be back in square one.
Especially if I was
Thank
80.
you for your leadership on this project. Thank you to United and the Department of Transportation for moving this along.
I would
as
eat a
quickly as
Tic Tac
possible.
and then I would fall asleep.
One of the things that
I'd be
was
like,
interesting, they were going to build this over a 60-year period. They were going to start with a little
And then
section here, a
sleep.
little section there, and that wouldn't have worked. It wasn't
That's
designed
not,
like this,
dude.
but it wouldn't have worked. So we're doing it all at one time. It'll all be completed.
Dude works
and it'll
20-hour
be
days. He works
beautiful,
more
and it'll
hours than
be,
me, and I actually work quite a bit
something
of
very
hours.
special.
I do a lot of
Like to
stuff
say
when I'm
something.
not
Thank you,
streaming.
Mr. President. I really want to thank the Airport Authority and United Airlines for your partnership.
Streaming is the
board
easiest,
of the
chillest
Airport
part. I love
Authority.
it.
Your partnership is critical to
I
make
got
this
all my
happen.
videos shot
I know
today.
you had a
My videos are
plan
shot for the
to
rest of the
improve
week
airport,
until
but as the president said, it
Monday.
was a long-term plan. We thought it
into
was
Monday. I
too
have videos shot
modest,
for Monday
too
as
slow,
well.
too modest. And with
60
the,
years isn't too much.
By Wednesday, I always have the rest of the week shot.
President's attention
So now
and
today is like a
focus
chill
on
day.
this,
Thursday,
it's
Friday,
accelerated,
super
it's
easy days for me.
expanded,
I got to
and
shoot 3
we're
videos
actually
each
gonna
day. That's
realize
it.
the vision and a much greater vision now. So it's very exciting.
3 little
for
shorts
Washington
each day,
State.
and I'm done for
Well,
the
these
day.
people
Each
have
day.
all been fantastic, and they want to see it get done and get done properly, and it should be done as one airport.
I look
not
like Captain
being
Lou
built in
about it
chunks.
from WWF.
Yeah, which would have been
I haven't heard that one
frankly,
yet.
a catastrophe, I think. So thank you very much. You have any questions?
Oh, here we go. This is always the best part.
Very quickly on this issue, did you just say 2 years? It would take 2 years to
We
finish
think
this?
we can get it started fairly quickly. It's largely financed. And we need some approvals from Congress probably, but generally speaking, it's been very bipartisan.
And then on the attack, the drone attack on the LNG tanker off of Egypt, what can you tell us about that? And is there any indication it's Iran-related? Does it represent a
I'll give you a report. I've been briefed. It's a little more of the same. But it's.
Stanley looks like you can cook a meatloaf. I can cook
in the meantime.
Great cook. That's going to be one of my new channels. One of these days, you can start seeing these viral cooking channels or cooking videos pop up with me in them. You'll see it.
You know, they tried shooting it.
It's one of my future plans for a channel.
So we had 5 rockets shot going 8,500 miles an hour, and all 5 rockets were knocked down to the ground. But they nevertheless took a shot, so it's our turn. And we'll see if we get there with an agreement at some point, but we're going to hit them very hard.
Mr. President, first on this, is this expected to affect any incoming or outgoing flights?
No, we think we could do it without a lot of disruption.
I followed you for years until I realized your MAGA is so disappointing. There are those who think for themselves and those who just accept and follow like Republicans currently. Dude, there's people who like... There's people who
that's too bad for him. I mean, that's too bad for him.
Have a political side they're on, and then there's the way they see everyone else. And they're like, oh yeah, they just think differently, which is like how me and my people do it. And then there's people like you that are like, oh, you're the opposite politics. Fuck you! And you have to let us know, you know, right? And it's like, that's crazy. Like, I don't give a fuck what your politics are. All I care about is how you act. And when you act like, oh, you're opposite politics to me. When that's how you act, I'm like, I don't want to be around you either, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of working out fine as far as I'm concerned then. You know, because I don't give a fuck what your politics are.
Did very well. The Democrat
yeah, in my real life, I have all kinds of lefty friends and people in my life, and none of us give a fuck about politics. We don't act like that.
As many masks as you could get. I mean, he made a lot of mistakes, and he wasn't a big factor for me. He was a very big factor for Biden. And if you remember,
I'll be all right.
We were,
you know,
sort of.
I'm sure I can get another follower.
That whole disaster of COVID. Far people died, fewer in the Trump administration than in the Biden administration. We ran it well. Operation Warp Speed was talked about as being one of the great success stories anywhere in the world, actually. And we did a good job. But many more people died under Biden than died in the Trump administration from COVID. COVID was a disaster.
I'm going to clip that and make that a video.
Did not help.
Stan, you're easily lovable, man. You'll always have a following. You got this. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate you. I'm good at this. I know what I'm doing. I make this fun. That's what I do.
The president has, they say,
I make this fun. I'll make the politics fun.
He was pardoned by Biden.
I will make this boring shit fun.
I respect that.
This is boring.
I know how powerful it is.
This is fucking boring, dude. I gotta help. I gotta make this fun. We gotta step this up.
Whether or not I sign
intentionally inflammatory with the Prime sub on Twitch. Thank you very much, friend.
You're witness to many of them.
Bezos bucks, let's go.
He signed very few. The only thing
I like Bezos bucks.
Was Hunter Biden's pardon.
Need a Stan anime. Sure we could do that with AI. Bro, a Stan AI anime would be fucking awesome.
I can't tell you what the law is. I've heard that you have to have a lot of proof. You need to have letters. You need to have all
Finally
sorts
caught
of
alive.
things.
Many videos and shorts watched. What's up, Captain?
The auto pen has to know exactly what it's all about. He didn't know what it was about because I saw him testify. So maybe
you already got a replacement subscriber. Yeah, I know. Damn, fucking it's crazy.
It's very powerful.
If someone has to announce that they're leaving and they're whiny about it over something dumb anyway, it's like, oh, your politics are opposite of mine. Fuck you. Right? It's valuable. It's more valuable to you for them to actually exit. Right? Because someone that actually likes it here will show up and take their place, and then we have fun and just kumbaya as fuck. You know what I mean?
He is the man to lead us to excellence.
I know so much about this consecration stuff. People always tell me I should do the chant, like do a guru channel. I don't want to be that guy, but
going to be a wealthy country.
I've been doing this a long time. I know a lot of stuff.
I was telling Prime Minister Starmer,
is your camera moving you?
Yep. Open it up. You'll be okay. Open it up. They have two problems. They have a huge
Trump is the greatest orange. I agree.
Coming from all over the world and just camping out in your country. And we've taken a very tough stand. In fact, for 14 months, nobody has come into our country. Zero, which is almost hard to believe, but that's what the report says. Our border's become very strong, and your border's very weak. He's got that problem, and he's got energy problem. He's got windmills all over the place, and anytime
do a Trump impression.
You see a failing country. And
I got
they're
one.
made in China, not used by China, but they're made in China.
I got one that I've been working on.
And you have a thing called the North Sea, and you buy a lot of your energy, as you know, from the North Sea, you buy it from Norway, and Norway gets it from the North Sea. They get their
This is my impression of
their
Trump
oil from the North
as
Sea.
a rooster.
And Norway's got trillions of dollars in the bank, trillions. It sells its oil from the North Sea, and Scotland has a better part of the North Sea. And you have 500, 600, 700 years. You have areas of the North Sea that haven't even been explored yet. You have one of the most valuable oil finds anywhere in the world. And if the United Kingdom would use it, they'd be a wealthy country again. And I tell you what, I could not get Starmer to use it.
It's
incredible.
amazing. I've been working real hard on that.
And these are all big giants.
You guys are lucky you got to see that.
In the oil business said, please, could you open up the North Sea?
Lucky.
Could you get them to open it? They're dying to do it. And if you open up the North Sea to the oil companies,
10 out of 10, 100%.
Ireland,
Yes.
The UK as a whole, but it's right in Aberdeen, Scotland. It's right in Aberdeen. And that would be one of the most vibrant. You know, it used to be called the oil capital of Europe.
Oil.
Aberdeen was the capital of Europe. And now it's, they don't drill oil. And nobody can understand why. You have it's among the finest oil, it's the best oil anywhere on the planet, and it's unbelievable plenty. You don't have to pay Norway triple what it costs them to take out. You have your own oil and gas. If you use the North Sea, the UK will be a really rich country. I cannot get the point across. The new gentleman, when I spoke to him, he said he's going to open up.
I'm going to pause just for a second. I got to make a point about Trump, bro, because listen, so there's so many people, they look at Trump and they're like, he's so stupid. Like, how, if they were asked any of these questions, they wouldn't even have an answer in the first place. Most of these people that say Trump's stupid don't even know what the reporters are talking about when they ask the questions. And the man is here answering questions about things going on all over the fucking world. You know, like these, I've never heard of all this shit before. Like if they asked me this question, I'd be like, I don't even know what that is. What are you talking about? And here's Trump having a whole ass opinion on it. Maybe his opinion is wrong. Maybe he's not, like, maybe it's wrong, but he's like, is informed enough on those things to have that opinion in the first place. And I just don't think that like a stupid person can have so many fucking opinions on so many different massive things all at the same time. You know what I mean? Like this. So I'm just saying, like a lot of people, they think that he's dumb, but I think it's just because of they only see the way he speaks when he's on camera, you know? But if you've ever seen him speak more candidly when the cameras aren't necessarily the prominent part of what's going on in the room, he speaks way faster. Even at 80, even now, he's just more chill, and it's a completely different person when you see that person talking. So it's like when the cameras are rolling, I think he's just taking way more time in between everything he's saying, because he fires stuff off way faster just around his boys. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, how does he have all these opinions on all these different things instantly on the spot? You know, like these are pretty complex things, and he's involved in all of them in actuality, you know? And quite frankly, I think that is one of the biggest things that allows Trump to kind of steamroll in a lot of areas, is because he's underestimated, because people do believe that he's some retard that's shitting his pants everywhere. Like people actually believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like those people are so easy to beat because they believe that. That is, you know what I mean? Like how is that competitive then? So just throwing that out there.
The Fed today voted to keep interest
1
rates
bazillion% agree. Thank
Are
you.
Surprised by that? Are you disappointed in any way with Kevin Warsh and not being able to corral Fed members?
Yeah, Kevin's got a board. He's fantastic. He's
Talks about stuff and you believe him. I don't necessarily believe him.
Lower interest.
I'm not saying I believe the guy, bro. The guy lies a lot. All right, he's really fucking good at it. I always say politics is about choosing your favorite liar, okay? Because they all liars. I was taught this as a child, and it's still true to this day, okay? All politicians are liars. You ever been told that? Trump's a politician. He lies. Which liar is your favorite liar? Which one do you want? Yeah, dude, I'm not saying I believe him. I'm just saying that he has opinions on these complex issues all the time when reporters ask him shit. And that's not something some idiot that's shitting his pants all day would fucking be able to do. Trump is an imbecile, right? Like, so I think that attitude right there is easy to beat, because it's kind of like people thinking you're really dumb, but you're like a super expert at something, right? Or it's kind of like like race cars. There's those cars called sleepers, right? There's some piece of shit car, but they have a crazy engine and all the stuff in it that makes it fast. Okay, so it just like kicks ass at races, and people don't expect it to happen, but it just happens, and it really is a fast car, even though it doesn't look like one, right? So people who think that Trump is dumb, they just kind of like lose, like they just get smoked. It's no contest, right? Because they're not even willing to admit that their opposite has capability, right? And that's why so much stuff is getting done. It's actually kind of a blessing in disguise. It's frustrating to deal with online and like with all the media and things like that. But those people that actually think that Trump is shitting his pants and is some idiot that doesn't know anything and he's like mentally not cognitive and stuff like that, like they don't have any clue what the fuck is going on. Like that just allows Trump to run circles around him. You know what I mean? Again, not saying that everything he says I believe, right? Sometimes I'll troll. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, everything Trump says is true, bro. Everything, you know, I'll say that shit just to fuck with you guys. But well, if you have two brain cells, you can tell that we're picking on people, you know, when I'm doing that. But it's just kind of an interesting phenomenon that people actually believe that it's some imbecile with a diaper and all these things while this guy is getting all this shit done.
But he's got a board, and it's a political board, and they want to keep rates up. But we fight through rates. We have the strongest
he doesn't have the cards
ever made in a country, of any country. It was China about 13, 14 years ago. We have far greater, 19.2. Even Jensen would say that's a lot.
Captain, yeah. There's if you want the other chatters, there's the bigger chat with like a couple hundred viewers in the shorts.
Spending more than United,
thanks, Captain, for letting them know in that chat.
He's spending 10 billion, but Jensen's spending hundreds of billions, right? I don't know. That's not a bad business. But no, we have 19.2 trillion. It's the biggest number ever spent in any country by far. And that's over a period of 1 year. As an example, as you know.
Okay, here's an example of what I'm talking about, right? So, like, he has been working really hard on getting investment into America. 19.2 trillion is a number that he is saying. Is it true? No, it is not. I support Trump. I like Trump. He is not telling the truth there. He's doing business mode Trump, right? This is what you do. If I had a restaurant somewhere and I sold steak and burgers, I'm going to say we have the world's best steak and burgers. The best in the world. That's what I'm going to say. That's what Trump is doing as the president. Okay? He's going like business marketing brain mode and just like going with the biggest fucking number you could possibly say. And that's the number he's saying. Okay? The reality is that we do have trillions of dollars of pledged investment. I think we have like 3 or 4 actual $1 trillion invested so far, or maybe it was like 2, not the 20, but there's a lot of pledged investment. He's going around and he's talking, he's trying to get all these people to say yes to this. They all remember, a lot of them just have to wait this man out, and they can get all kinds of things from him if Trump believes that they're going to give money, you know, but they could just wait him out and then not give the money. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. All right. Trump is doing world's best steak type of talk here. Okay. That's it. And is it appropriate for the president to do that? That's another discussion. Personally, I think it's fucking hilarious. All right. Someone else, they might have an opinion that's improper. I'm not going to disagree with them. Right. I'm not going to disagree. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, it's also funny and entertaining to me. And that's important to me. Call me selfish. It's true. I enjoy the memes. This is my favorite part about Trump being president. So anyways.
For 4 years, did much less than 1 trillion. We're doing 19.2 trillion in 1 year. So we have things that are happening in our country, the likes of which nobody's ever seen. Plants and factories.
Retards for Trump. Yes, I like that.
Toyota just announced they're building one of the largest car plants anywhere in the world, and truck plants anywhere in the world. We are building more automobile plants now than at any time in the history of our country.
Mr. President, automobiles in particular, this is just one of several projects that you have underway.
Dude, bankrupted how many casinos? Hold on. I love this. I love this. How many casinos have you bankrupted? Just saying. Kind of, you learn a lot from that shit too. Like you get a lot of EXP if you get to the level to bankrupt a casino. There's some EXP there. Rubber steaks. Yeah, I mean, no, it's the world's best steak. Okay, that rubber steak is world's best steak.
Forming the Washington region right now.
Well, this is an important, this is travel. So in terms of
Anyone that's ever owned a business knows what I'm talking about with the bankruptcy
I
thing.
think the protected ballroom and military center that we're building at the White House is going to be unbelievable. It's very important. But, this is the airport. This is sort of the lifeblood of a city or a capital, certainly a capital. And this will go from one of the worst, just like Washington. Washington was one of the worst places in this country, and now it's one of the best. You couldn't get into a restaurant because all the restaurants were closing or closed. They were afraid to have it open. Now you can't, if you're a restaurateur, you can't even find space to have a restaurant. The restaurants are booming. So, it's a great thrill. If you look,
It's a different stream, George. I'll give you a link to it.
It's safe. People walk to work. Every day a young man or a young woman comes up and says, "Thank you, sir." A young man or a young woman. They couldn't, they were afraid to walk to work.
Here you go, George.
Now they literally walk to the White House. Washington is now a beautiful and clean. We got rid of the graffiti.
1 moment, almost there.
78 monuments and different
Here you go,
things
George.
have been cleaned.
There's a direct link to it.
Strewn with. We had 28 fountains.
For George. There you go, George.
Not one of them worked. For years, for decades, they haven't worked. They're all up in service, and nobody's seen anything like it. We have a clean. We're changing.
Seriously, man, I thought you had some sense, but to enjoy jump and find him funny, what the fuck, man? I can't laugh at funny shit. What the fuck?
Human beings, grass is
What the fuck do you? I'm not allowed to laugh. What the hell? What kind of rules are those, dude? What the? You hear yourself?
We don't have the tents anymore. We don't have all the barbed wire up. We don't have the wire up. Washington's become a beautiful city. It's become a hot city. But, even more importantly, the United States right now is the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Mr. President, just a point of clarity on the airport. No federal funding will be required. What did you mean when you said Congress may need to approve?
There is a dog.
For $22.5 billion.
Dog.
United is going to partake in part of the payment.
He's itchy.
But the airlines who participate in the project are going to pay for it. If I can just make one point of clarification.
Yeah, please.
We have some permitting we have to do, but we think in the spring, this is both Concourse A. We think we can start construction in the spring of next year. So we're trying to move at the speed of President Trump. It's never fast enough.
Butt scratches.
We're going as quickly as possible so we can give a deliverable to the American people.
And the other thing Sean's doing, which I think is so important, maybe more important, I don't know if it can be more important than this, but he's working on air traffic control. We have an obsolete system. It's 50 years old. You saw the helicopter crash a year ago into a plane. That was a disaster. And things like that would never happen.
There was a woman pilot. I mean, it was, but I'm just kidding.
Before it happened, you would have heard the bells and whistles would have gone off. And a thing like that couldn't have happened if you had proper air control. So what's happened
When you say pick your liar, are you discussing Trump as well? Yeah, of course. I'm saying that Trump lies. Like, he lies a lot. Just like everyone else does. That's how the game is played.
Almost every
The game is that retarded, man.
Air traffic control.
The best liars win. Who would have
and
thunk?
we have the best people working on it in the world. And it'll make, so often you'll see somebody even bunking into each other at an airport. But where planes come too close, where planes, in the case of the helicopter the helicopter hits the plane, we are working on air traffic control to redo the entire system, including the new towers.
Your puppy's name is Donald Trump II? That's awesome.
You don't think of it. You see a tower, it looks fine. You go into those towers, they're literally falling down. So we're talking about new towers and all new air traffic control, which will give us the safest anywhere in the world.
Mr. President,
There's a link to it, George, right there.
Dr. Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment so many times today when he has the pardon, and what's stopping him from just giving an honest testimony this morning?
Well, look, I've never been a big fan of Fauci. Why he did that was very simple. His lawyer told him to. You know, I don't know if he.
What's up, bro? Love your videos. What's up, Rizzler?
There were a lot of questions that I guess he could have answered, and some maybe he didn't feel comfortable in answering. But his lawyer told him to do that.
Mr. President, on Iran. Prime Minister Andy Burnham hasn't mentioned publicly migration at all since he's gone into
The 250th lawn fight was awesome. Hell yeah, it was.
I did.
That was baller. I had a huge barbecue in my house. I had like 20 people here. Some shit.
Killing.
How many people do we have? Or like 15. I had like 15 people here. Whoa. What the hell? My camera's freaking out, man.
A little about it. And they're coming from all over the world. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from
Stupid
South
camera.
America. They're coming
Hold
from
on, give it a
different parts
second.
of Asia.
Got to reboot now.
Europe. I mean, they're invading.
I crushed
Europe.
this thing and it's been freaking out ever since.
And the UK is a prime suspect.
Mr. President, on Todd Blanche, Senator John Cornyn of
What is
Texas
this press conference
has been
for?
hesitant to
It's
back
for the
confirmation
construction of an airport. Probably going to be called Donald Trump Airport.
To his hesitancy.
Well, all I can say is Todd Blanche is outstanding, and I thought it was pretty routine. Because
The world is now Mad Max.
You just wouldn't find a better person.
Is that a Bowflex?
John
No.
was upset with me because I didn't endorse
It's
it. I
some
don't know what it is.
random ass brand, but it was a lot of different workouts in one machine. It's really dope cable machine.
Majority Leader John Thune, after the
It's even got a squat rack on it.
Americans and other stuff. Do you think he's still the man for the job?
Adjustable like height wires
It was a beautiful service
for pulling
Senator Graham, beautiful
chest
you
stuff,
delivered.
legs,
As far as
all kinds of
Senator
shit. Rowing
Graham
even
is
motherfuckers
based
are
on
rowing. I
your
haven't used it, but
conversation,
there's rowing on
Is
there.
she going to focus primarily on foreign affairs like her brother, or will she focus more on domestic issues?
I think domestic, really. I've spoken to her a lot, and she's much more focused on domestic, including costs and pricing.
And
I think she'll be
You
outstanding.
ever considered kettlebells? Yeah, I have some right here. I have a 25 pounder.
Would you like to see him?
I like a whole set of different weights for kettlebells.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure he will. Bill did a
I'm gonna get one of
job.
those Thor hammers.
And
That'd be dope.
Has just been confirmed, and you know he's outstanding. He was the head of Sullivan Cromwell for many years, and he's very outstanding. And I think he's going to do a fantastic job. And Bill was great. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, in light of advanced ChatGPT AI models escaping their lab and conducting cyber attacks, are you
See the
considering
guns?
stronger controls?
I got some.
Negotiating.
I got a couple shotguns down
We're looking
here.
at controls. We're also
I got a
making
Doom
sure that
shotgun,
we're
double barrel.
So we're leading China in AI by a lot. China has virtually no controls. It's freewheeling a little bit. So we have to be careful in both ways. We don't
Squats,
want to
bench,
restrict them.
deadlifts,
We're all of a
it does
sudden
all of
becoming
that.
Second to China. Whoever wins with AI is going to win. That's how big it is. So it's bigger than the internet ever was. It's bigger than anything ever was. So I don't want to restrict.
Oh, my
many of these
biceps?
people, I don't want to restrict them from doing great work. Yeah,
That's what he's. Yeah, you're probably right, dude. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah. You want to see these suckers, dude? You want to see? Okay, hold on. Get it ready.
Oh, I don't see that. No, we're not. No, we're gonna hit him very hard. I mean, I can actually say that.
Yeah, dude. Look at that. Look at them guns, dude.
It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but you know we got to smack them a little bit.
Yeah.
Mr. President, hit back when they strike.
Will I always hit back? Pretty much.
Mr. President, just on a point of clarity on that, sir, is that in response to the attempted ballistic missile strike on Jordan last night? When you say it's our turn to hit back?
Yeah, I think more so that, yeah, because it was another smaller event. But no, they sent 8,000-mile-an-hour missiles at us, and fortunately we had our people operating the greatest equipment in the world, namely the Patriot system. Think of it, 5 missiles going 8,600 miles an hour, big ones, coming right at us, and all 5 were shot down. How about that, right? Pretty good. Nobody else could do that but us, yeah.
How was your meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday?
It was good.
Do you see a time scale for getting
No,
that?
it was good. Look, you know, he's out doing his thing. I'd like him to end the war. So it's very simple. I get along with both. I get along with President Putin. I get along with President Zelensky.
You guys remember Celebrity
I told him
Deathmatch? Oh, I loved that show, especially as a kid.
Thousands of people.
That was way
25,000
cool as a
people
kid.
died last month.
There was nothing like it.
That's standard. And it's not acceptable. So I said, just end the war.
Worried X, yes, Dan, remember me? Yeah, what's up, dude? I remember you.
Back before August 31st to act on the Russia and Iran.
I think you changed your name to Worried X,
It
right?
shouldn't be necessary, to be honest. but if it's necessary, I'd like to about the
From
Lindsey
something.
Graham. So I'd like them to add Iran as tariffs, not just as sanctions. I think it's important. That's what Lindsey
Let's get it
wanted.
on. Yeah.
Because I heard that they have tariffs on Russia, but not on those 5 countries with having to do with Iran. I'd like to see tariffs on Iran. It would make it much stronger. So perhaps
I think it's just you on kick, George.
I think they should put in for Russia, but I think they should.
They don't really got an algorithm over there.
And that's really what Lindsey wanted. Yeah.
They need us to bring our viewers over to kick.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's kind of the downside to it.
Told you that China would not give or sell Iran any weapons, and there's a new report that Iran's about to get 400 rocket launchers.
But so, like, living in a blue state,
through Pakistan.
it's fine, especially Colorado. Everyone gets along here.
Things like that happen, but that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake.
In Denver, it's more lefty, but everyone's just kind of still, everyone's cool. The outside areas, like the metro area of Denver, is
coming up on the 20th
more righty.
anniversary of 9/11, and a good number of 9/11 families have called on New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani to not attend a number of these memorial services. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think they're having a hard time with Mamdani. The people having
That's
to
right,
do
yeah,
with
ugly
anybody
dog.
having to do with 9/11 right now. On the victim side, and there are a lot of them.
Yeah, what's
they're
up? That's
very
cool,
unhappy
dude.
With what's going on
How
in
you guys
New York,
doing?
and they're very unhappy with the mayor. I understand that. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Republicans are underway negotiating the budget. Would you sign a CR without the Save America Act protection? That's something you want to see?
I'll have to look at it, but they should get to Save America. How simple can it be? Voter identification, proof of citizenship. I mean, now you have to understand the Democrats. Not one Democrat will sign because they want to cheat. There's no way they can get elected if they don't. If that happens. But we should have unanimous Republican support, and if we don't, people should look at those Republicans. But think of it: who would not sign voter identification with photo, and who would not sign proof of citizenship? Only people that want to cheat. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Bev.
Now get the fuck out of here. I love it when they kick them out. The fuck out. Anybody that goes to the White House and then like that kid that saved that teenager that saved the kid in the water, right? That like lifeguard. He's like a 16-year-old kid and then he saved some 10-year-old kid in the water. You guys saw that. Trump invited him to the White House. I bet that if that kid goes to like the Oval Office and they do a thing, a live stream or whatever, and like this like second half or longer of the time in there is going to be answering questions of the press. 100%. So the kid's just going to have to sit there and listen to Trump answer all these fucking questions. It's going to be funny. All right. So the other thing that we have, I don't know how interesting this is. I mean, we could try it, but this is Trump doing a speech at Lindsey Graham's funeral. I don't know if do you guys want to watch that? I do have all these other stories that we could talk about. And again, these are going to be like YouTube videos. So I'm just going to go through. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 stories. Yeah. I do my homework before these streams, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Me and my team put this shit together. I know it's just a bunch of tabs, but we found these are everything that's being talked about in the past 2 days. So I was going to stream yesterday, but then I was like, never mind, because I had jury duty. And then I found out that I didn't have jury duty and it was already so late. And I was like, fuck it. So I just played video games all night instead. But here we are today. It's not even 9 p.m. for me. And we have all these stories. So I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to assume that watching President Trump talk about Lindsey Graham is going to be boring.
Born to do. He was truly a great politician, serving the country he loved to serve so deeply.
I'm going to play it for a little bit. Here's my strategy. I'm going to fill you guys in a little secret. I'm going to play this for a second. I'm going to let you guys watch it so you guys can kind of get a gist of what this is. If the views go up, then I'm going to keep it on. If they just stay the same, I'm going to take a hint. I'm going to be like, all right, yeah, I called it. That shit boring. Let's go. I got some stories to talk about. So here we go.
The top of his game as a legend that everyone of us, many of us here today, blessed to know him, and a friend that none of us will ever forget. There was truly nobody like Lindsey Graham. It was his hometown of Central South Carolina that Lindsey first learned the art of politics. His parents ran a bar and pool hall on Main Street with a room in the back where the family spent and slept and did everything that you had to do. As Lindsey said, his father taught him the key to being a successful bar owner is that you have to be funny enough that people will keep coming back, and that you have to be tough enough that you can stay in business and thrive. A very difficult combination. For his entire storied career, that's exactly who Lindsey Graham was. He was the first person to make you laugh, and one of the last people that you've really ever wanted to fight. These were the traits that made him into one of the great figures.
Yeah, I'm making a call. That's boring. I know you guys want to hear the stories. Okay, so we got a lot of good stories to talk about. Let me do a stream marker. Boom. All right. There we go. We're just going to go through it, okay? Let me just make this look cleaner. No bookmarks. Nice. That looks much better. All right. I'm sending it, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing this live. We're doing it live. Shooting videos. Say hi, YouTube, if you want to be on YouTube. Everything you say in the chat is going to be on YouTube. All right, so keep that in mind. Here we go. Florida has carried out a double execution for the first time in 60 years. Former Florida cop James Duckett has been executed after he raped and killed an 11-year-old girl. Prosecutors say Duckett kidnapped 11-year-old Teresa May McCabe from a store where she was buying a pencil before graping and strangling. He declined to say any last words before he was executed by lethal injection. I've been waiting 40 years to have him dead, says Teresa May McCabe's mother. 80-year-old Dominic Ochishone was also executed for murdering his ex-girlfriend Anita Garrity's parents. Okikone had blamed them for the breakup and shot the father, Raymond Artisner, in the face and shot Martha multiple times. His final words were, "I'm sorry for the hurt I've caused my family. I know it don't mean much, but I'm sorry. I never meant to do what I did." Well, I mean, you kind of meant it. It just fucking happened, and then you immediately regretted it, I'm sure. But you can't take back fucking shooting someone in the face and then going and finishing off the person they love. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Gotta die. Sorry. Wood chipper, that's right. Let me see. See if there's any chats from this. Okay, it looks like we're good on that. I'm going to read your chats. If there's anything funny or interesting, mostly funny, that you guys say during this, I'm going to read them so we can make it into the video. George made it over the short stream. Awesome. Department of Education opens investigation into Denver public schools after a teacher allegedly made female students make out with each other in class and graded them on it. I'm just going back to like 16-year-old me, you know, 15-year-old me, even, you know, I mean, that was my age. I mean, if I was a 15-year-old boy, awesome. As an adult looking at that, what the fuck? Also, I think it was a female teacher doing it. So it wasn't even a male teacher, it was a female teacher doing it. Isn't that crazy? What do you mean smash or pass? Oh, yeah, that's chat. Chat. We're not doing smash or pass with this one. 3,000 joules for firework. Thank you, John. I appreciate you, man.
I move that the board hereby accepts both the evidentiary and ultimate findings of fact of the hearing officer the recommendation of the hearing officer that Ms. Jennifer Honka be dismissed on the grounds of incompetence and neglect of duty, and that the board enter its written order as required by TACTA that Ms. Honka be dismissed with immediate effect.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the floor is now open for debate. Seeing none, Ms. Atwood, would you please call roll?
Director De La Rosa? Aye. Director Gaitan?
Aye.
Director Hunter?
That's
Aye.
crazy.
Director
That's here in my neck of the woods, Denver, dude. That's fucking wild. Just that sentence alone. That's absolutely wild. Dog needs to go pee. Need to go outside? Not allowed! Give me the shocker, Brittany. I'm gonna zap him. No effing way that's real? Bro, this shit is real. I remember hearing about this story. Yeah, so it was this female teacher, and she was like doing some gay shit in the classroom and having the girls kiss each other. Like I said, if I was a 15-year-old boy in that classroom, I would watch. You know, I'm not gonna not look. I'll probably, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's fucking weird. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Like, why would a teacher fucking do? That's just crazy, dude. It seems like the shit teachers are doing are like happening more. Or maybe it's just more news stories and it's always been a lot. I don't know. Arrest a teacher. I think she totally got arrested and now they're having some sort of investigation. It's a woman. It's a woman teacher. Not that it matters, you know, but like from a 15-year-old boy perspective, it would matter more. If I was a boy and a male teacher was making the girls kiss, I would fucking tattle on that motherfucker. But I'm going 15-year-old brain, right? Adult brain, not okay across the board. 15-year-old brain, if a female teacher was doing it, I would be, you know, maybe not say anything. Just being honest. Yeah, but overall, just like fucking crazy that that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. Democrat Party is suffering a civil war. This guy always like sensationalizes. Always Eric Doherty. I mean, great source of content, but he's always sensationalizing, bro. So you got to watch out with this guy. Let's just watch the video for ourselves. But apparently there is some internal fighting within the DNC. It's Democrats versus socialists. You guys already know that this is going down, but things have really been going bad because of money lately.
Democrats to Congress. All of this comes amid a growing ideological divide as well as financial problems and leadership turmoil. Correspondent Mark Meredith has some examples tonight. Good evening, Mark.
Brett, I sure do. Always something interesting happening here in Washington tonight. The DNC chairman, Ken Martin, he is still on the job, even as multiple Democrats are calling for a change at the top. Martin, who was elected chairman last year, has faced numerous setbacks, including debt left over from the 2024 race, lackluster fundraising, and prolonged controversy over whether to release that autopsy report about past mistakes. Federal election records show the DNC has $16 million in the bank, but $18 million in debt. Republicans in a much better position financially with no debt and $128 million in the bank. The chairman says money alone is not going to win elections. He writes, a larger bank account does not knock on a door, register a voter, recruit a candidate, or protect the vote.
But it can afford to pay for it.
Disagree.
It's incredibly sad to see the DNC in the committee at this point, and it could not be more clear that he's unfit to lead. We need somebody who can actually raise money.
The chairman has my full support.
Ken Martin should be building our apparatus.
David Hogg pisses me off.
Is he 8 battleground states. Well, it's not. It's not happening at the level of the support that needs to happen.
The DNC is an important partner, and they need to do better. I think they understand that.
Director Matt Smith. The party's problems aren't just financial. Wisconsin Democrats are divided over whether to support Francesca Hong, a socialist who is leading in the polls as their gubernatorial nominee. Last night, she tried to distance herself from the National Socialist Movement.
I do not support the full platform of the national DSA, and I'm not endorsed by DSA National. What democratic socialism is a form of government that puts working class people first, that puts work first.
Hong's candidacy.
I'm sure
is
there's
closely
other
watched
things
as
that
it's
we
a
can
test whether
say
Democratic socialists
about
can
them
win statewide
that don't sound so
primaries in
good.
swing states. That's a big question right now, Brett.
We'll follow.
So yeah, there's a little infighting going on there. Dems only care about race. I know. Yeah, I mean, it's a losing strategy long term. It can win immediate. It's worked for like the past 15, 20 years essentially at this point now, especially the last 15. Okay, that's when it really started ramping up, and they're using that. But it's like been used to death to where people are now like are repulsed by that tactic. And so they got to, you know what I mean? And then now they're having the infighting within their part. It's not looking good. Also, the AOC Kamala Harris rumor, them running together. Oh my God, bro! Like I guess, like I already was expecting a righty to succeed Trump, but now if they're gonna do something like that, they're just giving it away again. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes is asked about how much time he spends in Chicago after he was out of town during the Seattle mass shooting because he was at a DEI conference.
I was not in town yesterday. I wish that I had a crystal ball and we could schedule gun violence, but we can't.
I want to just squash the discourse about, you not being in town enough.
Yeah, part of being a leader is being here, being visible, and being present. Part of being.
So he doesn't live
in
there.
Major cities that sometimes I have obligations, and I wanted to be at the conference to support one of our community members who was getting an award, and one of our community service officers that was also getting an award from the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. Thank you.
How often do you travel to Chicago? Your wife and kids still live there. I'd like to know how often on weekends you travel there and who's paying for that.
Certainly, I don't travel as often as I would like to. I think any reports that I'm gone every weekend are grossly misstated. I don't have that kind of money. I'm here in Seattle. I love the neighborhood that I live in. I love my community. They love me. They know me. They see me all the time. Don't love the rent that I'm paying, but affordability is something that we're working on. Is that right, Mayor? That's right. So I feel good about being here in Seattle. I love this community. Thank you. I was not in town yesterday. I wish that I had a crystal ball and we could schedule gun.
Yeah. Just playing over again. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know, dude. What is going on here with this? Or is they just picking on this guy because fucking, I don't know. Like, I don't have enough info on this. It sounds like people are just kind of bitching and complaining about it, and it's not really, it's kind of a nothing story as far as I'm concerned. I wish this wasn't even in my docket, to be honest. Let's move on to the next one. It might be more interesting. Woman who killed her 3 children sobs as the exercise band she allegedly used. What the fuck? Hold on, I gotta start this over. Woman who killed her 3 children sobs as the exercise band she allegedly used to strangle them were shown to the jury. Lindsay Clancy was found by her husband lying in the backyard after she cut her own throat and wrists and jumped from a 2nd-story window. So she tried to do like a murder. I can't say the word, but you guys know what I'm saying. The house was really quiet. The father, Patrick, said while describing the moment he returned home after running errands. He says he found the children in the basement of the home with exercise bands around their necks. I saw Cora. She had a band around her neck, he said, noting how she was face down. Patrick says all the children had bands around their necks in the basement. I knew that he was gone, he said. Jesus Christ. About their middle child. During the trial on Wednesday, her children's pajamas and exercise bands she used to kill them were shown to the jury. What the fuck, dude? That's fucked up. What the fuck is wrong with these people, dude? Demonic is right.
Band found with Dawson. First the pajama pants. Pajama shirt. And then the pink robe.
That's fucked up.
They may be admitted.
Yeah, zooming on her. She did that shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you fucking did that. And there we go, lawyer. That's right. Look at it. That's what you're defending right now. Part of the job, right? Yeah, that's right. You keep, if this part of the job, you better remember. Yeah, that's right. Don't close your eyes. Look at it. Yeah. Don't hide. Make her look at it too.
Yellow exercise band found with Dawson.
Is it just playing it over again? It is. She was on 13 different mental health drugs at the time when our pharmaceutical company is going to be held liable for poisoning America. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Didn't like all 13 different companies come together and be like, how do we make this one woman take one of our pills each? What the fuck are you talking about? All right, let's move on to something that's, I mean, it's still kind of an irritating story because I don't think this guy was drunk at all. But there's this story of Tony Romo, NFL legend. Body cam footage of Tony Romo's arrest released tells police officer that he was on his way to see grandma and grandpa because I'm coming. Basically, what happened is they pulled this guy over for like the dumbest traffic issue ever. Okay, as he was merging onto the highway because he like didn't wait long enough in the turn lane before he crossed the line. Yeah. So they pulled him over for that, and then they tried to get him for a DUI and took him back to the station and everything.
You will do 9, okay?
Let's see, do we have... Okay, yeah, we have the whole thing. So let's skip it ahead from this, and we'll start... Well, we'll just play it from the beginning. Here we go.
You will do 9, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Just sitting in there. Sorry, guys. 2 back
1,
surgeries. It does hurt.
2. Hi there, Deputy Cora, Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
Were you speaking on the speaker back there?
I was.
I didn't even know you guys said that. So sorry.
All right. Reason for my stop today. Yep.
That was what you said.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Reason for my stop today is the unsafe passing on the right.
George,
lane
thank you for the
deviation.
membership.
Say it louder. I'm sorry.
Unsafe passing on the right, cutting across the gore. Obviously, the gore.
Yes.
It's the marked area.
Gotcha.
Where are you coming from?
The golf course. And I'm going to meet Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay. All right. I'll take a driver's license from you.
You got it.
How many drinks have you had?
0.
You're coming from a golf course?
I played in a golf tournament in Wisconsin State Amateur.
Okay. I'm going to run you through some fields.
What's that mean?
Field sobriety tests. Are you willing to take any field sobriety tests?
Call my lawyer and I'm going to go to film if that's okay.
You're denying to step out of the vehicle pending fields?
I'm just going to call my lawyer.
Okay, step out of the vehicle.
I'm going to call my lawyer.
Nope, step out of the vehicle.
Yeah, this cop's an asshole.
out of the vehicle.
Let him call his lawyer.
So you're saying that because you think I can't?
All right, so you're going to step in front of my vehicle? Step in front of my vehicle.
If I put this right here?
Step in front of my vehicle, yes.
We'll quote you back on this. They'll be hired at C20 shortly.
24 squads, please slow it down. He's out of the vehicle.
I thought you were taking me through it.
So, as of right now, we're on a leveled ground. We're on a bridge. I want to convey you somewhere that's going to be an even surface, free of debris.
Yes, I agree, so we don't get hit.
Turn around for me.
I get you. We need the cars.
Yep.
That's crazy. What the fuck is this cop doing?
Have a seat.
This cop's an idiot. Why?
What's that?
You in all the way?
I'm in, yes. Uncomfortably, but yes.
I know you're a taller fellow.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
And then when my partner brought the backpack that you wanted,
They brought him all the way
not
back
an
to the
inventory, But I
station.
make sure that there's no guns in there. Exactly.
What a
And
dumbass
there
cop.
were a few shooters in there that I observed.
Yeah, any of them drink?
Okay.
I
So,
don't think any of them were drink, right?
okay.
Can I do an exercise?
Go ahead, dude.
Token Knight, thank you for the 1,000 gems. What are they making him do?
Okay. Any head injuries?
Excuse me?
Any head injuries recently? Any concussions?
Lawsuit? I mean, I would. This is crazy.
Yes, but not recently. No, we're good.
Okay. When you turn, keep the front lead foot on the line.
Sorry, 1 second.
And turn by taking a series of small steps with the other foot.
What are they making him do?
I'm going to demonstrate with 3.
Yes, thank you.
You will do 9, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Just sitting in there. Sorry, guys. 2 back
1,
surgeries. It does hurt.
2. You
Just trying not to.
willing to submit to a PPT?
What is that?
Machine that you blow in?
It's a preliminary drug test.
It does not determine the results of
Oh,
my
no,
test.
we're not doing that.
Okay.
I've already heard from all the lawyers. Don't ever do that.
Okay.
So.
All right.
We're not gonna
There we go. Let's pass it. Don't consent to
Did I
these
pass
things.
this test?
So here's the thing. Wait, he's saying no to the blowy part, but he did the other part.
You're under
parents are
arrest for operating
We'll
while
get to
under the
that.
influence, okay?
Wow. What a dumb ass cop. He was hammered. I didn't think so. He doesn't look drunk to me. Does he
will
look
do
drunk to
9,
you guys?
okay?
I mean, he could be. I don't know. Look at that. Like, maybe he is lit. He could be lit. I don't know. He was hammered? No, yeah, guys, what's your... Now, I'm looking at this image, like this close-up. He looks like he had a few right from right here, but the way he was talking and hanging out and stuff, he looked fine. He seems intoxicated. Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking not. I was thinking the cop was being an asshole. But maybe she's right. Can they they could take blood. Can they do that with you? Like, can you decline that? Even if he was drunk, she stopped him for a different reason. Yeah, the reason she stopped him for was stupid. Look it up, Stan. Okay. Maybe he was just turned on by the cuffs. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Again, this picture right here, you guys, you guys in the short stream can't see it, but you see it's kind of like a rosy cheek, right? Like the rosy face does look like he had a few. His eyes are glossy. The way his eyes are look like he had a few in this right here. So I guess so. It's hard to tell. People who drink a lot, it's hard to tell sometimes. We already watched the Fauci stuff. Oh yeah, I have an update on this story. This isn't necessarily for YouTube. This is for you guys. But yeah, the school that was gonna add a robot to their classrooms in New York, they have decided not to go with it, or they're halting plans, paused plans, because the company that provides this robot also makes sex robots. So parents were like, "What the fuck? Why do we have a sex robot in our classroom?" Right? Which is so understandable. I honestly think that it's really bad business for the same company that makes sex robots to make classroom robots. That sounds like just really bad branding, decisions from a business perspective. So yeah, maybe start a different company or something. You know what I mean? Like, what else do we have? Trump says migrants are killing the UK, invading it. I'm going to play it. This was a short that I was going to do potentially. I actually have a bunch more stories too. Let's keep going.
Minister Andy Burnham hasn't mentioned publicly migration at all since he's gone into number 10. Did you discuss it with him?
I did, briefly. He's going to have to mention it because it's killing your country.
Mr. President.
Killing you.
He won't talk to GB News.
He's killing your country.
He won't talk to him.
And not him. I mean, we'll have to see. I know Starmer did very little about it. And they're coming from all over the world. They're coming from Africa. They're coming from South America. They're coming from different parts of Asia. And they're invading Europe. I mean, they're invading Europe. It's an invasion. And the UK is a prime suspect.
Minister Andy Burnham.
How to get a corn dog out of a PVC pipe with the air. Blow air in it. Lots of air. Yeah, I love it when Trump says it. I was going to do a short on that, but I just found some better stuff to do instead. All right, here's a bunch of other stories. All right, like, so, oh man, this would be an interesting interview to watch on stream, the whole thing. This is going to drive so many people that don't like me crazy. There's so many people, they think that I'm some sort of like Israeli, like whatever. I think a lot of it's like, it started off as like a meme, but there's like all these people that believe it now. It's like thousands of fucking people. It's crazy. And so I just kind of like to have fun with it and then just say that I am. You know, so, and it drives them fucking crazy, dude. I bet Yuhu personally fucking pays me, man. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, here we go. Here's a clip from them. Let's see. Netanyahu confirms he's coming to New York City. Oh shit! That's right. That's right. Mamdani said he was going to arrest him or some shit, and Netanyahu's going to come anyways. Let's see what happens with that.
You got this lunatic mayor in New York thinking you may get arrested if you go to New York, which will never happen.
First of all, I'm going to New York.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you there when I go to the UN in September.
You know, I moved to Florida.
Well, you know, you can take a plane.
I'll come up, yes.
You can come. You've come to Washington, so you can go there, but I'm definitely going there. I'm going to speak the truth in front of this. You know, there's just hate-spewing elected official who's pitting one group of New Yorkers against the others. He's turning them against New York Jews. I mean, what are we, in the 1930s? What is this, you know? So much hate, so many lies.
Yeah, so this shit drives people fucking crazy when we talk. I've never showed a video clip of Benjamin Netanyahu ever on my streams. Or I don't think I've even made a video about him or said, like, I've never talked about him, or I don't really talk about Israeli anything. Right? Like, I talked about when like the fucking Iran, it wasn't there like something crazy going on with Israel? They did some sort of bombing operation or something. I talked about that. Like, there was one crazy thing that they did, but I don't really talk about the Jews. I don't give a fuck, to be honest. I say this every stream. I'm going to remind everyone. Here's my stance. I don't give a fuck about Israel or Gaza, Palestine, whatever you want to call it. I don't care about either one of them. I have nothing to do with it. They've been killing each other for a long time, and they're going to keep doing that for a long time. And it has nothing to do with me. So, therefore, now they desperately want all of us to be on their side. They're both of them are competing for the rest of the world to be on their side. That's what they're doing. I refuse to participate in that. And it's focused on myself. And that's in America. That's kind of my position with the whole Jew thing. Just to remind everyone, or to let everyone know that's new here about this stuff. Yeah, I don't give a shit. My joke is that in 1,000 years, we're going to have space Jews and space Muslims blowing each other up in space. That's how long this blood feud's going to last. It's going to go to the stars. That shit ain't dying anytime soon. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about this, but the Cracker Barrel CEO is stepping down, being replaced with someone else. And this is after the disastrous rebrand. Remember when they got rid of the old man from Cracker Barrel and they got rid of all the cool stuff inside the store and just made it like super fucking nothing, trying to be like every other restaurant instead of being like, it's like the dumbest business person ever, right? Instead of leaning in on what makes you unique from all the other restaurants, they're trying to actually just be more like the other restaurants. The dumbest play you could possibly make in business. In business, you're trying to show what is different about you than everyone else. Crazy concept. Yeah, I don't know why she thought making Cracker Barrel look like McDonald's would work. It's so stupid. But yeah, no, she's getting fired. So this will be a state. Watch some other company hire her ass, dude, and like just tanks their brand. She's like kryptonite at this point. Do not hire her as a CEO. She made that decision for Cracker Barrel. Like, if you retrospectively thinking about it, dumbest decision ever. I mean, it was obviously the dumbest decision from the very beginning, hence why everyone reacted the way they did. But like, seriously, who would hire someone that has this reputation? You know what I'm saying? Like, but someone will. There's gonna be some dumbass reason they're gonna hire her, and then everyone. It's gonna be really bad for that brand. Will it last? We'll see, right? We'll see if she's that bad of kryptonite. But yeah, she definitely. God, she's so annoying looking. Am I the only one that thinks that she looks super annoying? Like, or am I just being biased? Look at her. Does she look annoying? She looks like a bitch, dude. I'm just saying. She looks like just so annoying to deal with. She looks like an impossible person to deal with. I don't know, I'm just judging by looks alone. There's something about her, the way she is. She looks like she's just such a pain in the ass to deal with. That's what she looks like to me. Have you looked in the mirror? You look like a tard. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I kind of embrace my retardedness. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of retarded, Sharia law. That's a way to open a video. Breaking news, Governor Ron DeSantis has just signed a law banning retarded Sharia law from being enforced anywhere in the state of Florida. So no secondary courts, not allowed. That's illegal. I can't believe we have to make a law saying secondary courts are illegal, but here we are. Sharia law and the Islamic are incompatible with America. I kind of agree with that when it comes to the extreme ones. Anybody that is Muslim that comes to America and wants to love America and you're not trying to turn America into Islam, I like you. You're cool. Glad to have you. Anyone that is trying to make America Islam, I don't fucking like you. I don't. It's that binary. It's not that complicated. People want to make that really complicated. I think that a lot of people share that sentiment with me. Like, yeah, dude, you're like, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you're like I was in the military. We had Muslim people. We went to Iraq. They fought with us in Iraq, bro. These Muslim dudes went to Iraq with fucking, they didn't have no beards or nothing, bro. These motherfuckers were jar-headed up and we went to Iraq. I'm just saying, right? Like, I like those guys. Those guys are American as fuck. Went to war and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, anybody that is Muslim that wants to come to America and pledge allegiance to the fucking flag, 100%. You're more than welcome to come here. I love that shit. You want to come here and make us fucking Islamic country? I'm not fucking with it. I don't fuck with that. That's one thing I'm going to be opposed to. I'm going to speak out against that one. Anybody that wants America to be Islamic, they're this guy. It just don't get. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get copyrighted. Let's start that over. There we go. Yeah, look at this guy. Look how he eats his hot dog, bro. Yeah. This is anybody that wants it to be Islamic America. This is them. Okay. Look at this, bro. Look at that hot dog eating method, bro. Don't do that. That's so, bro. I know it's efficient, but that's not allowed. That's illegal. You broke man code. This guy lives in Dearborn, Michigan, 100%. Okay, that's where. Bro, why are you eating it like that? Stop, dude. It's not a Slurpee. Oh my god. I gotta save this. I'm saving this one. He sucked it first. Yeah, dude. Fucking licking good. This is the lefties that come in the chat to cry because, like, I have different politics. Like that one person earlier, it's like, I used to watch you, but then I found out you like Trump, so now I hate you. Right? This is how that person eats their hot dogs right here. Why'd he suck it? What the fuck? Why'd you do that? What the fuck? You're saving it too? Yeah, by all means. I did a short on this Some of you guys probably saw it. Raul Gutierrez, who stole a rifle and ammo from a vandalized FBI car during an anti-ICE riot in Minnesota, has been sentenced to 54 months in prison. You guys remember that? I covered this shit. We looked at it live too. Where they broke into the FBI vehicles in Minnesota during the ICE riots. Yep. Well, I mean, it's been a minute since then, but these guys have officially been sentenced to prison. A lot of people are saying 54 months in prison is not enough. You know, I mean, maybe I'm just really nice. I don't know. I'm thinking like they probably are going to come out and be more problematic in the future. I will say that, right? Like the odds of that are high, but I feel like getting several years in prison for this is not, you know, not a small amount of time for a crime like that. You know, I bet like maybe they come out of prison after several years in there for doing dumb shit like this and maybe don't do that again. You know, just saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm too nice. I you know, like they didn't hurt anybody. See, when someone gets hurt, right? They go and fucking hurt someone. Then we got to add some time. 54 months not enough, right? Like if it's like, let's say this dude fucked up an FBI agent and then stole all that shit. I would say like fucking 30 years or 20, 30 years, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. That is fucking wild. That completely changes things. But he didn't like attack people, at least in this instance. He looks like he probably has hurt people. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too sympathetic, or not sympathetic, but too nice. It's just kind of the way I see it. You know, like sometimes the crime, like, hey, dude, that guy's doing time. He's gonna do years in prison for it. That's a, you know, years of his life gone for busting into that car. Shouldn't have done it. You know. Oh! This is it. This is the Tic Tac moment. You guys want to see it? He's gonna eat the Tic Tac. This took the world by storm on Monday. The whole world was talking about this Tic Tac. Might be more famous than the UFO Tic Tac. So watch. He misses the first Tic Tac. First he offers them. He's spreading around. He's like, "Hey guys, you want some Tic Tacs? Hey Bennett, you want a Tic Tac?" I was like, "All right, well, more for me." And then he takes the Tic Tac and he misses. That first one, I don't know if you saw it, but that one fell down. So then he has to eat a second one because the first one missed. And then everyone started talking about this all day on Monday. This was the most important thing to happen in the world on Monday. Or was it yesterday? It was sometime this week. And man, oh man, were people's now talking about his cognitive ability because the Tic Tac missed. Everyone was crying about this. But the thing is that these weird lefties that are trying to, because there was nothing to complain about on Trump that day, so they decided, well, I guess I'm just going to criticize the Tic Tac missing his mouth, right? Since there was nothing else for them to complain about, they focused on the Tic Tac, and they revealed that literally anything Trump does, they will cry about it. They will try and say that something is bad, right? Which is crazy because we watched fucking Ice Cream Joe fucking walk away trying to find invisible ice cream trucks that weren't there all the time. But they didn't say a fucking word about that, right? But this dude misses a single Tic Tac to his mouth, and they got to use that to dunk him. But it also backfired in another way. Check this out. It didn't just backfire by showing that they're just so miserable that they will pick on just a Tic Tac, right? It didn't only show that. No, the TDS is real. That's right. The TDS is real. All right. Another side effect happened that they did not expect by crying about that so much and blasting this very normal thing that everyone has done. Everyone has missed a Tic Tac to the mouth, right? Like, it's like we've all done it. Whoops, fell down, right? All it did is make them look even more relatable. They tried. They had nothing to cry about, so they had, and like all these, especially all the people making money off of crying about Trump every day. Like there's people that make like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. There's so many of us that make fucking ridiculous money on YouTube. Let me tell you, a lot of us YouTubers are rich. Okay, let me just be honest. Let me just be honest, okay? And there's these people that they make so much money just crying about Trump all day. They don't even care. They don't even think Trump's a bad guy. They love Trump because they make so much money from him, but they cry about him every single day, and that's how they make their money, right? So when a day comes by and literally nothing happens, like Trump's a little bit quiet, there's nothing to make money off of. So the Tic Tac missing his mouth, that's the only thing they have to make money that day. So they talk about the Tic Tac. Isn't that crazy? That's how it works. They probably don't even care. They just need to complain about something. But it's just kind of funny from the outside. You can look at it and be like, wow, like that's how this works. Like if they don't have anything to talk about, they will pick the dumbest, smallest things to talk about because they're desperate to try and make money somehow, some way that day. They need Trump to do stuff. Trump said it the other day during the press correspondence dinner, White House correspondence dinner. He said, "You guys make so much money off of me. When I'm not president anymore, you guys are going to be broke. You're not going to be making any more money. You love me." And he's right. He's right. 100%. And it's not just the big media companies. It's literally just like your average Twitter account. You know, like how big is this account? Let's see. This account has 1 million followers. Senior digital editor for Midas Touch. Okay. So this person, let's see how often they talk about Trump. Let's see. Maybe they talk about Trump a lot. Here it is. Or they're just talking. Here it is, Sean Hannity. So this person is making money. Yep. This is what this person does for money. Right here, right? So this person needs crazy things to happen in order to talk about it. And it's just a fascinating fact about the Tic Tac. All it takes is a single fucking slow news day, and then Tic Tac is on the menu, boys. That's what we have. This captured the world by storm. Let's watch it one more time. This magnificent piece of history, apparently. Wow, watch. See? Let's watch part 2. Here we go. There's the Tic Tac. It could be drugs. Like he's like, "Hey man, you want some mushrooms, you know?" There you go. There you go. Yeah, dude. Oh, you don't want any? There you go. Look at, oh, he missed. Time for a second one. There we go. He was more careful the second time. It's kind of like the Lion King when Rafiki was hitting Simba in the head with the stick, right? Remember that? And then when he hit him in the head the second time, he ducked and he missed. Remember? The same thing. He just learned like Rafiki taught Simba. And the second time he put the Tic Tac to his mouth, he was more careful. The world's news. This was world news. Oh my God. Okay. I'll move on. I'm milking the fuck out of the Tic Tac. Even I'm doing it. Okay. But I'm just talking about the absurdity of it. It's so funny when you, I like to give you guys I do have some perspectives that are valuable. Most of them, I'm just a regular dumbass like the rest of you. Okay. But sometimes as a content creator, I can give you some more insight into how things are working. And from the business side of things, all of the people that make money crying about Trump every day, they had nothing this day. And it just kind of, what days like this reveal it, and it makes it so funny. Let's move on. What's the next story? We have like 4 more. All right. Okay. I mean, you guys all heard about this. We can go over it again. This kid say this, you know, whoa, that's loud. Sorry, everyone with headphones. I apologize. This teenage lifeguard who's brand new saves this 10-year-old kid from drowning. They're getting hit by crazy waves. And he will not let go of this kid. He has an iron grip. Saves this kid's life. There, he still has him, iron grip. Yeah, that's good. They had to go through it, but that's the way it is. And then someone else comes to help. It's also said that this kid was telling bystanders, "Don't try and help me because these waves are dangerous." Damn, dude, they're just getting hit, but they're just not giving up. The kid would probably die if you didn't help him. And you know what I mean? That's what it's looking like. And it's so dangerous. He's telling bystanders, "Don't go help. I got this. You just need to let us do it." Human chain, let's go. What a hero. So what happened was Trump invited the kid to the Oval Office. Damn, dude, he still hasn't gotten him out yet. These are some... The more I watch this, the more I realize how gnarly the waves are, you know? Sometimes it's hard to tell how dangerous it is, you know, when it's on camera. But I've spent enough time, you know, living on the ocean to just know, yeah, these are gnarly. And the more, yeah, these are gnarly waves. The kid is so small and exhausted, he could barely hang on to anything. He would have died. They saved his ass, dude. They saved his ass. Nice. Let's get him out of there. What is all those ropes? That is, all that rope is not helping. Damn, they're still not out of it yet. Like, they're able to stand now, but that kid was stuck in there. That's crazy, man. We're going to bring this heroic young man. Let me just make this bigger. We're going to bring this heroic young man and his family into the White House with perhaps the boy he saved. To give him a high civilian honor. Very brave. It's dope. It's dope. Anyone mad at this? Dude, there's people mad at this too. Anyone mad at this? Fuck you. You're such an asshole. Just gonna say it. God, dude. There's people like they're mad that this happened and that the kid's gonna go be celebrated by Trump. They're mad at it. How can you be mad at that? You're wild, wicked, fucking demonic. All right? Demonic. Oh. There's this new game coming out called Paris 2026 Simulator. I don't know if you guys like video games. But here's this game. Here we go. It's Paris Simulator. Oh no, watch out, watch out. Watch out. This what the fuck, dude? That's crazy. Yeah, would you guys buy that game? Do you think you can make it to the last level? All right, I got two more. I got Kamala's running for president again. Even though the party's broke, she still wants to give it a shot. MAGA says, please do. All right, here we go. Here's her announcement to running for president.
Even though our party's broke, I want to give it a shot.
Yup. Yeah, that's real. That's not fabricated by AI. Yep, that was really her. That was an AI. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know. We're looking forward to that. Oh yeah, and finally, just to give you guys a heads up, remember this person? It was like a trans person who shot up a school, killed 4, 9 others were injured. Has now got a life sentence. So I'm assuming no death penalty in the state. But yeah, totally not AI. But yeah, there's an update to this situation. So this was like a 1.5 years ago or so. Life sentence. There it is. So that's wrapped up. And that's it. Damn, we did it all. That was 3 hours. It took 3 hours. Not bad. We got through everything in 3 hours. Lion's Lair. This is a comedy club. Any Denver people? This is a comedy place I go to sometimes. Lion's Lair, Rise Comedy, Gnarly's, and Golden is fun. There's a few others I like to go to. I'll probably do some announcements when I go do some open mics, and it'd be funny to have fun to have some viewers show up and be there for the open mics. That'd be dope. And you just sign up right here. You just put your name on the list. I know all these people. Most of them. No, I go to all the open mics. You start meeting all the comedians. If you ever wanted to get into comedy, anybody, you just find the open mics in your area. You just find them on Facebook, right? And sign up. You just find the paper. You find out the time it starts. You go over there. You write your name on the paper, and when it's time, they will introduce you. And next up is so and so. Everyone claps. And you go up there and go suck at comedy, and don't be a bitch about it, and go up again another time and try and be better. You know what I mean? Where you at, Stan? I'm in Denver. I've been doing stand-up in Denver I've done like 2 months of stand-up so far, even though I'm like 3 or so months into it, but I haven't been doing it for the past couple of weeks. I need to get back into it. Go get some more clips. Do we have anything else? That was basically everything. I think then next up, we're going to do some games. We do have the new Halo. I could set up for that. Let me throw on like a trailer for you guys. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I want everyone at their stations.
Everyone, sir?
Everyone. Whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Oh, you greenhorns who wanted to see Covenant up close.
We're coming in too fast.
This is gonna be your lucky day. Ready for our dramatic entrance? Let's move.
Hold your fire, my children. Are you not impressed with our work here?
Oh, nice. Nice. What did it smell like? Was it? Oh, it smelled like my my dinner. Hell yeah, dude. Let me get some more carbonated stuff. I'll send some more burps your way. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. She's admiring my stinky burps that I was. She was like, they're so good smelling.
Let's give our old friends a warm welcome.
She's lying. This looks dope. I have it installed, ready to go. So I think that I'm going to change over to I'm going to change my category on Twitch. That's what I'm going to do. Do another stream marker. Let's get this going. Halo Evolved. To play this, you'll need to buy it. Oh, I got to subscribe to Xbox. I forgot. Okay, hold on. Let me resubscribe to Xbox. Give me a second. Let me throw in some tunage for you guys. There we go. All right, I'll give you something stimulating to watch. Okay, let's put on something stimulating, shall we? Here we go. I have something stimulating for you guys. I know that you'll love it. I know that you'll love it. Here we go. Right, it's kind of like on TikTok when hold on. Come on, camera. Come this way. Okay, we'll just do that. Kind of like TikTok, right? Okay, I gotta redo my purchase here. How do I do my pin? Renew. Ultimate. Let me get some Xbox Ultimate. All right. New card. There we go. All right, now we have Game Pass again. All right, cool. There it goes. There we go. Okay, it needs an update. That's fine. Nice. Now we're going to play some Halo. That's going to be baller. I just worked 10 hours. If I didn't have to take a 2-hour break, it would be 12 hours. Hey, thanks for lurking intentionally inflammatory. I appreciate you, man. Excellent choice of background music. Thank you. Update my category on Twitch. Game is almost done with its update. And we'll just keep on keeping on. Do. You work 12 hours every day? I work a lot. I mean, see, I started at 2 p.m. and I've been working since then. I am counting the stream. That's the easier part of the job, not gonna lie. I mean, of course it is. Let's just use it anyways. Unemployed in Vegas looking for work sucks. That is loud. Sorry,
Press
guys.
enter key to start.
What the hell? It's gonna do all these like
logging in.
Why are you doing that? I hate it when games open to have all this audio stuff.
Loading. Previous tab Q key screen tab list tab 1 of 4 next tab B key. Screen calibration button list item. Previous tab Q key accessibility tab list tab 4 of 4
How do I
next
turn
tab
this shit
key.
off?
Global text scale default button list item 2 of 7.
Bro, why is that on by
Starting
default? That's
J
annoying.
An IR system.
Bro, I'm not
Previous
blind.
Tab Q key screen tab list tab. Previous tab Q key accessibility tab list tab 4 of 4 next tab B key. Previous tab Q key.
How do I turn this
language.
shit off?
Previous tab Q key audio tab list tab 2 of 4 next.
There we go. Jesus Christ, dude. That's crazy. I can't believe accessibility. I hate that. There's not enough blind people for that to be everyone else's burden. That's my opinion. Give me a second. There we go. Borderless, let's go. Everything on Ultra, let's go. Playing on 4K, everything's pimped out. Frame generation, fuck yeah, dude. That's always helpful. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. Interested in playing Halo or not? You can always jump in later, but you'd have to buy Game Pass. Bernie's making me go alone. Have a beast. I do have a beast of a PC. I got a 4090. I would get a 5090, but they're like $4,000 now, dude. Like, Jesus Christ. New game. Let's go. What difficulty should I play on? Let me see. I'm gonna put it on the hardest difficulty. There we go. Yeah, let's put it. We're putting. There we go. Hard. I picked the hardest one. I picked the hardest one. You guys saw that, right? You saw me pick the hardest one. I picked the hardest difficulty. How tall are you, Stan? I'm like 7'2". And I also picked the hardest difficulty. Yeah, I didn't pick any difficulty other than the hardest one. Yep. Liquid cooling. I do have some liquid cooling, like my processor has a radiator, essentially. Some people have graphic crashes with this game. We're gonna find out. We're doing a live first impressions of the game. I've played the original game on Xbox, and then I played it again on the what was it? Halo Legendary Edition or whatever it's called, Master Chief Collection. I went through and played Halo 1, 2, and 3 on those last year, I would say, or something like that. Me and Brittany played through them. So you were an artillery or tank operator? I was artillery. I was an 0811 in the Marines. M777s. So it's an M777. Just look that up. An M198. M198. Those are the artillery guns we shot.
Get here first? The Covenant ships have always been faster. As for tracking us all the way from Reach, at light speed, my maneuvering options were limited.
You can't shoot the female NPCs, just the males? We're gonna find out.
We were running dark.
Same in Afghanistan.
Until we decelerated, no one could have missed the hole we tore in slip space. They were waiting for us on the far side of the planet.
Oh, you were what? The 777s, 908s?
Our fighters are mopping up the last of their recon picket now. Nothing serious.
Strongly recommend Helldivers 2 for a future
isolated
stream.
approach signatures for multiple
I have it. I
CCS
like
class
it.
battle groups.
I will stream that.
Make it 3 capital ships per group. And in about 90 seconds, they'll be all over us.
Well, that's it then. Bring the ship back up to Combat Alert Alpha. I want everyone at their stations.
Everyone, sir?
Everyone. And Cortana.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give our old friends a warm welcome.
I've already begun.
Attention all combat personnel. Please report to your action stations.
Let's go! Take it to him!
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Not a drill.
You heard the lady. Move like you got a purpose.
I think I'm gonna stream on my gaming channel.
Platoon secured airlocks on deck 11. 14th platoon rendezvous with 22nd tactical at Bulkhead Charlie 14.
Cortana's Samsung AI name. Cortana is a Microsoft AI name. So they named Cortana and Microsoft after Cortana from this game, because this is a Microsoft game.
When we meet the enemy, we will rip their skulls from their spines and toss them away laughing. Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm, damn right I am. Now move it out, double time.
Woo, here we go. Attention all personnel. We are re-engaging the enemy. External and internal contact imminent.
You were born in 2000. I was born in
All
88.
you greenhorns who wanted to see Covenant up close, this is gonna be your lucky day.
Fire team, report to defensive positions Alpha through Sierra. Sensors show inbound Covenant boarding craft.
Give me 1 sec. This is Photoshop. Nope, that's Adobe Premiere. Let me close this. Sorry guys, 1 second. Is that Photoshop open? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna Photoshop over here on the side real quick. I need Steam as well. Shit, where is it? Alright, now I'm out of the way.
Stay cool, Mendoza. What do you expect, Rifleman? You think this little pleasure cruise is gonna last forever?
The graphics look really good so far.
And keep your eyes downrange, fingers on the triggers, and we'll all go home in one piece.
Whoa. Sir?
Cortana to Cryo 2. Transmitting security code. Bridge out.
Right. Let's thaw him out. Okay. Bringing low-level systems online. His vitals look good. He's hot.
Master
Pulling
Chief.
the pins in 5.
It's getting thawed out. Let's go.
Sorry for the quick thaw, Master Chief. Things are a little hectic right now.
Welcome back, sir.
Give me one sec. I'm almost done photoshopping this shit.
Vital signs look normal. No freezer burn.
That looks good. All right. I will finish that in a second.
I gave you a double dose of the wake-up stim. Take a quick walk around the cryo bay and join me.
That
at
is
the
really fast. I got to turn that down. Keyboard and mouse. Sensitivity. Let's go way the fuck down.
diagnostic station when you're ready.
Okay, that's too far down, but it's better. That's pretty good. Let's go with that for right now.
I know the ordnance techs usually take care of your targeting sensors, but we're short of time, Chief.
All right,
Just
let's
look
go.
at each of the flashing panels to
All
target
right.
them.
Mhm.
When you lock on, it'll change color. Okay, that looks good.
Okay, I'll leave the pitch normal, but if you want, you can change it yourself later.
No, I just want this. I don't want my mouse to be inverted, bro. That's what. It's weird.
Follow me to the energy shield test station.
All right then, let's go. Hurry up. I'm gonna smack you if you don't hurry up.
Sir, I need you to look at me so we can begin. Thank you, sir. Okay, bring his energy shields online, please.
There we go. Get those energy shields up. Let's go.
All right, shield read and fully charged.
Okay, sir. Bring them down to test the.
Love watching your content, sir. Thanks for all the laughs. Thanks for watching, homie. I appreciate you.
Recharging normally. Showing green across the board.
Bridge to Cryo 2. This is Captain Keys.
Big MJ fan. What's up, dude?
Immediately.
Captain, we'll have to skip the weapons diagnostics and
On the double, crewman.
Aye, aye,
It's
sir.
an emergency.
Jumpy, we better get moving. We'll find you weapons later.
Okay.
No, I want guns now.
Diagnostics running at least.
Good idea. You'd better get to your evac group, Sam.
Affirmative. I just have to reset the computer and I'm out of here. Oh God, they're trying to get through the door. Security! Intruders in Cryo 2!
Sam! Sam!
They killed them, you monsters. You should just let me in. I can go slap them around.
Come on, we've got to get the hell out of here. This way.
I'm going this way.
Enemy boarding
Eat this! They're right behind us!
Kill those blast doors.
Here we get some weapons.
Whoa! What the? They're everywhere!
Let me punch this guy.
Show me what you got. Hello.
Give me a gun.
Those alien bastards are everywhere. Chief, aliens. Sir, the captain needs you on the bridge ASAP. Better follow me.
Yeah, dude, there's dead soldiers here. Let me get one of their guns.
Get clear, Chief.
All right, I gotta just go to the bridge, I guess. There's no fighting. I get it. All right. There we go. All right.
Captain Keys.
Good to see you, Master Chief.
Good to see you, Master Chief. Someone bring me a weapon.
Cortana did her best, but we never really had a chance.
A dozen Covenant superior battleships against a single Halcyon-class cruiser. With those odds, I'm content with 3. Make that 4 kills. Sleep well.
No thanks to your driving, yes.
So you did miss me.
There we go. Let me start a stream on my gaming channel.
Report.
We'll get this going on over there. Just made a thumbnail on the fly.
I guess an antimatter charge.
Bam! Fire control for the main cannon is offline.
Captain, the cannon was my last offensive option.
All right then.
This is how the OG Halo looked when I was young. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm initiating Code Protocol Article 2. We're abandoning the Autumn.
Exactly.
That means you too, Cortana.
While you do what? Go down with the ship?
In a manner of speaking. The object we found. I'm going to try to land the Autumn on it.
With all due respect, sir, this war has enough dead heroes.
I appreciate your concern, Cortana, but it's not up to me. The protocol is clear. Destruction or capture of a shipboard AI is absolutely unacceptable. And that means you're leaving ship. Lock in a selection of emergency landing zones. Upload them to my neural lace. Then sort yourself for a hard transfer.
Aye, aye, sir.
Which is where you come in, Chief. Get Cortana off this ship. Keep her safe from the enemy. If they capture her, they'll learn everything. Force deployment, weapons research. Earth.
I understand.
If all goes well, we'll rendezvous on the object's surface. And if it doesn't...
So those of you on, let's see, like there's
Make sure my daughter gets this.
we're going to be moving the stream for some of you on YouTube if you're not watching the short stream. Short stream is going to stay the same probably, but the regular stream is going to move over to the gaming side of things. It should move you automatically here in a minute.
Not that you'll listen, but I'd suggest letting my subroutines handle the final approach.
Excellent work, Cortana. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yank me.
Yoink. Edit this one. Could be a redirect.
Your architecture isn't that much different from the Autumn's.
Don't get any funny ideas.
Good luck, Master Chief.
The Covenant have breached the command deck. We have to stop them from taking the bridge.
All right, give me 1 second, guys. We're getting another stream going here in a sec. Seeing if the gaming channel is going to receive this. It should. It says sending data. All right, 1 sec, guys. Oh, it's working. There it is. It connected. Nice. What we want. 5. There it is. All right, cool. We have that. And then what I'm going to do is... There we go. Set up a redirect. Where is it? It is right there. Let's see if I can edit it. There we go. Found it. All right, so. Save. Close that. All right, so we're going to end one stream and it should automatically move you guys.